Tisa.
Riot Games season. Here, I'll link the one I'm watching, and then and that might be the that seems to be the one that's not got casting on. Can you just check my stream to see what it's like without? Oh, that's horrible. Why is there I can't get 720p plus, can I? Do you have to pay for that?
No, I think you can. I don't think. Like sometimes you're allowed to, and sometimes you're not, depending on the settings. But yeah, there's 3 different streams happening right now.
Okay.
And one is Freak, one is D-Man, and then one is Tisa.
I think we should watch D-Man's one because he's probably the best caster at the moment in the world, in my opinion. If you know, if you feel cool with that.
Yeah, I don't care. Whichever one you like. The stream's the stream.
Yeah.
And these guys are all diamond players, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously because it's top elo, so. Oh wow, there's actually 4 not in here. I don't know any of these guys actually. I've never seen them in the ladder.
So I'll call our stream something like NA Qualifier, Season 3 NA Qualifier, Laffy and Groshh or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Does it have the team names?
Apparently I can't spell my own pseudonym. Can you just double check my stream to see that I'm looking at it right and not being retarded? Are actually some of these already plat? Okay. Oh, Zerath, yes! And Trundle!
Oh yeah, some of them are plat. There's only a couple diamonds actually.
Yeah. Wow, this is gonna be good. Trundle is so good right now.
1 sec. What's your stream again? I forgot.
It's twitch.tv/Groshh. I've got it on full screen on Twitch, so I want to see if it's capturing it properly. I'm just gonna go to the toilet. Be able to...
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so this doesn't look like it's got any casters on. Is that worked on my stream now?
No. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna drink water because it's horrendous casting out of drinking water.
But yeah, it looks good. We're actually in the game right now, so. And I could hear myself on stream. I could hear you on stream. Everything's fine. Everything seems good.
Okay, so.
They just have the direct camera on, so that's no issue.
Yeah, so we'll just go with whatever camera they're doing.
Actually, I've seen this Zergman before. He actually does have a guide on solo mid for Rumble.
Whoa. Okay, okay, so that's first blood. Rumble picking up first blood.
Yeah, we just missed first blood there.
Sorry, dude.
Onto Trundle. No issue there. He tried to flash over the wall to get away, but Flame Spitter I think he had there. Yeah. Or he might have took Electro Harpoon. Probably Electro Harpoon took him out there, and then the Ignite finished him off after he flashed over the wall. So that was actually a really good invade there. Success for the blue side. And yeah, but that's going to be really hard on Trundle maybe if he cannot get back there in time, which he will. Yeah, no issue there, but there's going to be a setback as Rumble does get a kill there, buys a cloth armor and some wards.
It's going to make Jace's lane really hard though.
Minions has spawned.
Looks like Trundle. Looks like Rumble's gone back actually. And,
yeah, they actually swap lanes as you can see. We have Caitlyn, Nunu top. They're going to take those golems, and then they're going to go into lane, hopefully beating out Rumble. But that cloth armor is not going to really do any good for Caitlyn. But Caitlyn, Nunu is a pushing lane, so what they're going to do is they're going to just try to kill all the minions out and take out the turret.
Well, force that Rumble to CS under turret and see if they can't sort of force his CS to be worse than Blazers.
Yeah, and well, Rumble can somewhat CS well under a turret because of his Flame Spitter and under yellow, it should be fine. But Rumble pre-level 4 cannot really do much, so it's just going to be him trying to last hit with his Electro Harpoon.
This is actually a really good start for Trundle. Actually, he got. I think it looks like both Elise and Trundle getting smiteless leashes there. So they're both going to work around to those buffs second, so they have that smiler. And then it looks like we could probably get a gank top lane with them both being level 3 and both having double buff. So I think Rumble needs to be very careful here, because even if Lee's comes, Trundle is exceptionally good at counter game. And he could really put him it could really put him behind.
What I really like about this meta, though, is that there's actually really limited amount of boots purchased. As you can see, like Jace and Xerath both purchased the flask instead of boots, and they actually have more sustain in lane, hopefully to damage out their opponents before they go back, so they can have a better advantage in lane with more XP and more CS.
Trundle coming up in mid there, but he's actually fighting with the Lees up top. He's dangerously low. Lee juking out that snare there as well to get away. And that was a really good counter gank by Elise to force out Trundle out there and to protect his mid lane.
As we do see here top, Caitlyn Nunu trying to get that turret down as fast as they can, pushing as hard as they can, just trying to make some sort of aggressive move to give the pressure along the map, picking up the turrets. But we do see red team has wards all through the top jungle, so they know where Elise is, hopefully preventing counter invades to happen. So that's really good ward coverage by the red team, making sure that Elise doesn't come in and take the wraiths, golems, or even red buff.
This is the exact strategy that both of these bot lanes are doing. The blood boil from Nunu onto Caitlyn just allows her to do so much damage to that turret with the amount of attack speed she gets, and the same from Lulu, giving that a little bit of attack speed to Ezreal as well as the attack speed on attack. Those turrets are not going to last long at all, and it's going to be a case of who can get those turrets first and then switch back and really hamper their ability. Trundle going in there, spotting out by the ward. He's going to use that pillar, but it's going to lead to nothing, and they're both going to back away.
One thing I like about the Rumble versus the Jace is Rumble has a lot more clearing potential until Jace gets higher level and can level up his Q. So as you can see right now, Jace can't really do much against the minions to clear them in time. So Ezreal's getting free hits onto the turret, and it looks like Ezreal might win the race to the first turret in the game, as the blue team here are trying to hack away at that bot turret, trying to get an advantage.
Yeah, I think that's the crux of this problem, this scenario at the moment is Rumble has so much better AoE clear early on, and Jace just can't answer to it. Rumble also not using any form of mana, so he can stay in that lane for a significant greater amount of time than Jace can, because if Jace is spamming those spells, he's going to do himself too quickly.
And Jace's mana's costs are pretty high. Ever since he got nerfed, not many people really want to play him much. But the thing is here, Rumble also got First Blood, so he had cloth armor, so he could sustain longer in lane from Caitlyn auto attacks or Caitlyn damage. But it looks like they might be able to take down the turrets at the same time here, equalizing the gold maybe, as Caitlyn is trying to just hack him.
Flashing in from Rumble, he's going to pick himself up a kill there. Exhaust coming out, but he's going to be able to chase with that harpoon as well.
That was a really bad play there by Caitlyn, accidentally standing on the turret for 3 turret shots as Rumble did take a kill, but here goes a gank by Trundle.
Jace taking a ton of damage though. Lu's going to got low. Ezreal's going to pick himself up a kill, flashing away there. Trundle's going to pick himself up a kill. Elise is coming in as well. Stun coming from Power. Good spider. It's going to be another kill for Ezreal. Double kill there. That's a really great play.
That was a really good play all around by the blue side, picking up 4 kills there. 3 kills, and the red team only picking up 1 onto the support. So it wasn't really that good of a trade for them. No. And we might see that bot lane turret going down alongside of that top lane turret, which already fell down for the blue side.
So both turrets are going to fall now, and the bot lanes really accomplished that early game goal that they wanted to set themselves. The 2k gold lead blue team have right now.
I know, and that just shows now they're going to try to shove Caitlyn and Nunu into a different lane and try to make them push even harder. Yeah. And you can't. I really like the composition that the red team chose here, because Jace, his W is really good at pushing turrets, and Caitlyn and Nunu are known for the turret aggression, so they could literally take out turrets with ease for sure, and that's what I think they're going to try to do here, instead of staying into team fights, which they know they're going to lose with the amount of CC that the blue team has versus the amount of CC the red team has. They're not going to do that well in team fights. They're just going to try to get as much aggression as they can early on and try to win the team.
I really like the poke comp, because they can use that EQ combo from Jace to do a lot of damage from a really great range. They've also got high range Caitlyn as well, who's going to have a lot of move speed with the blood boil. Then they've got Xerath, who has insane range when he goes into that the turret mode. as well as the disengage from Trundle with this pillar, just sets them up to be so strong and to just pull away from fights that they feel like they're losing, and just only engage when they really
I hear Rumble all going off there onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn's gonna go fall back, try to run away. I don't think she'll be able to get away from it.
That damage from Rumble is insane right now.
He might get a double kill here if he tries to go on Nunu, and that blood boils too fast and just runs away. Just amazing play there by Rumble, capitalizing. That's why Rumble's so good. He can 2v1 if he gets fed. He is that strong of a champion. In that yellow zone, it gives him more damage increased on his flame spitter and gives him lots of slow on his E, and gives him speed with his shield. And all that combined makes his kit really strong when he is in that not the danger zone, but the yellow zone. Yes, the danger zone, sorry, yeah.
Before mitigation on that ultimate though, you're looking at like 1,000 damage, like damage potential from that, and that's really scary. You know, Caitlyn's probably on about 1,000 HP right now, if that. And with the ignite ticking for about 200 true damage, they have no answer for Rumble.
And one thing that a lot of people don't know is that Rumble's ultimate still does damage while you're standing in it. So if he runs his ultimate, it's really bad to do. You should try to get out of his ultimate and run away from that point. It just doesn't slow. It also does damage over time.
Yeah.
So people need to be careful about that. And it's not just little damage, it's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
As we do see, Caitlyn doesn't want anything to do with that top lane anymore, and they progress bottom back to the normal sort of laning phase of top laners top, mid laners mid, and the AD carry support lane bot.
Rumble has benefited from that lane swap so much. He's 10 CS ahead of Jace, and he's also got those 3 kills. So Jace has to be so careful here as well. Flame Spitter with that strike coming out, doing a ton of damage.
It's one thing you have to be wary about. Rumble can snowball very well, as you can see here. He's diving right onto Jace, and Jace has no answer for it. He's going to just try to get away. He might get the kill here off the turret, though.
Clutch
Ignite taking away the shield. Yep.
Trundle though coming in. Is he going to be able to pick himself up? He's looking for Rumble. Rumble's going to cancel that refill. Harpoon coming out. Is he going to die to the turret here? Amazing play, but shut down from Jace.
The timers are a bit too long now, and he cannot die to the turret. But that was a nice try by Rumble, living with a sliver of health. But Jace getting out the kill. But that was worth it, because instead of dying to Trundle, who would have got the kill and the assist, he just died to Jace, who just got the kill. So instead of giving them that little bit more extra gold, he was able to just give them only 500, which is a lot, though. But like I was saying before, Rumble can snowball very easily. Right now what his build is going into, he got some sustain with the Hex Tech. Now he's going to go for more penetration. I think he's going to get a Haunting Guise. And along with this
as well, which scales so well with his ultimate.
It scales with his ultimate and his E, and most likely he'll get relies. So when he's in yellow mode, his flame spitter will do tons of damage, with literally tons of damage from the slow, from the relies, and then he has his E to slow, his ult to slow, and then in the yellow he has bonus damage. His Lux throwing the laser there, trying to take him out, not successful.
Using that cleanse though to try and get out of that snare in time to avoid it, but it wasn't going to happen. Caitlyn's really not having a great game. Ezreal as well. He's 30 CS ahead of her just because of how well that Rumble's done. And Rumble having won that lane early up top early on has given that bottom lane great presence as well. Just because she was able to CS much better against Jett.
One thing I don't think the red team knew about Zergman is that he actually is a well-renowned Rumble player. I've actually seen a couple of guides from him, and he knows how to play Rumble very well, as you can see here. He's staying in that yellow mode, making sure he doesn't fall down, but we do see Trundle maybe going for a gank, not too sure. He's making up his mind, running back and forth through that river. Not too sure where he's going here. Yeah, Jay's trying to throw some damage onto Rumble with that poke, not doing much damage, that shield protecting it. 2-level difference, and that's really hard for Jace to come back up. Jace needs to have his early game aggression going on, and he can't throw that anymore since Rumble is already 2 levels ahead of him. And right now, the blue team has tons of aggression, the red team does not know what to do about it. They're just trying to stop Rumble from doing what he can.
Jumping in here though, Zara's come up trying to pick up that Rumble. It looks like they had the vision in the tri-bush because Rumble's going to back out. He's going to be safe in that. Yeah, there is a ward in that top tri-bush. And so he's playing. Even though he's doing so well, he's still playing very, very safe. He's trading with Jace, not going too deep like he made the mistake earlier of getting caught by that trundle. And I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll do that again and get caught out. But
actually, Red has just saying that trundle's actually going top lane right here. They might get ganked. But the damage is just way too high from Rumble here, taking out Jace most likely. Jace trying to run away, does not able to, but they still get the kill onto Rumble as he tries to run away with his ultimate. Trundle picking up that kill though. Good trade for the red team, I would say, but they still lost one member. But it's alright, they're trying to slow down Rumble as best as they can.
But showing how much damage that Rumble ultimate does, completely half HPing the Trundle just from walking out of it. It was, that's going to be really, really scary. I feel like when these teams group up, Blue are going to be terrifying, especially if Elise or Lux can get a really, really strong initiate. Rumble's going to be able to get into the middle of those fights, and if Lulu is able to ulti him, he's going to have a slow aura on him, and if he builds that Rylai's like you said, he's going to have a slow aura on all of his spells, and no one's going to go anywhere, especially with the slow on his Harpoon Strike as well.
Especially with Lisa's kit, so that she can jump into the fight, along with Lulu's ultimate, that synergizes very well. And if they're able to land a stun from Elise or a snare from Lux, they'll be able to ult them perfectly with Rumble's ult and Ezreal's ult to do a lot of damage from afar, and then come in and finish up and clean up.
Exactly that. And this is where Red Team really need to have that ability to just completely disengage and avoid those snares, and that's going to be a lot of mechanical play there, trying to make sure that they don't get it.
And it's actually built in their team also with a lot of movement speed buffs from Nunu, Jace, Trundle, Xerath. They all have some sort of ability in their kit to get away quicker or chase better, if you will, and hopefully that will propel them towards lead. They're a bit behind right now, 3k gold deficit, but it's not too much you can't come back from.
No, exactly, and I've seen comebacks from a lot worse scenarios. Red team starting on the dragon now. They've got it pink ordered, so they know blue team don't have any vision. And this is what's going to enable them to come back, is getting that 100 G for everyone across the map. And slowly that gold lead's going to close down.
And yeah, slowly but surely they might be able to get back into this as Jace is trying to trade as best as he can, but the Hex tech is allowing more sustain, and that's one. Oh wait, Lulu's getting caught here maybe by 3 members of the red team.
Lulu trying to run that wall to get himself Lux there as well, but Lux getting ultimate from Lulu and she's going to walk away. But both very, very low. Great Q from Xerath there.
And I'm not too sure if Caitlyn, yes, Caitlyn did use her ulti there, so she wasn't able to pick up that Lux. But now they're trying to run away from this Elise Ezreal combo here. They're all so low. Lux is trying to stay in there. She does have long range abilities, maybe taking out 1 or 2 members of the red team if they do stay. But Xerath's long range trying to poke him out, has that blue buff. As Rumble is trying to hop onto Jace here. Jace is trying to run away. Not too sure if he's able to. Does have that Hex Drinker, but the shield is not strong enough as Rumble does pick up the kill past the first turret, and that's just, you can't, they need to have someone there helping out Jace. They can't just leave him alone. Rumble is able to dive turrets with that shield, with that damage.
Especially with how much spell pen he has as well, because his kit has naturally high base damage in it, built into it, and his ratios are pretty good, but they're not, he benefits so much from that spell penetration, and he's very scary, because as much magic resist as this Jace is built with the Mercury Treads and the Hex Drinker, and I imagine he's running flat or per level MR runes, he's going to really, really struggle just because that Rumble's going to be doing near true damage.
Exactly. And one thing also pointing out here, blue team, they propelled their lead even more, taking out that top turret, and also out farming the red team substantially. We see 97 to 159. Caitlyn and Ezreal, 112 to 97. There's a bit of a gap there. And then Rumble actually has not farmed that much, but he has a lot of kills. So blue team showing how strong they are as a team, out farming, out playing, as red team is just trying to stick together as a team, poking down the blue team, maybe going in for initiate later.
Yeah, I really like this. Even though red team aren't having the best time right now, I think if they can play this game safely and play for the long game and turtle really well and protect those inhibitor turrets, I definitely think that they could farm up and play that sort of CLG EU strat. And just completely draw this game out to a 55-minute, 60-minute game.
Yeah, and if they do take it to that point, they do have a lot of champions with abilities to take down turrets quick and easily, so they will be really strong in the later game. But either way, if they allow the blue team to take down turrets, like you see how pressured they are at this moment, they're going to take down this mid turret most likely, as Caitlyn and Jace are nowhere near. So they're just trying their hardest to take down as much turrets as they can, applying the most pressure, and just having the red team caught in their own position. Not much happening right now, but we do see that Ezreal's just free farming bot lane, and we can see that with the CS difference, as I stated before, about 70 CS difference, 73 to be exact, around 72.
It's built that brutalizer as well, which just plays so well into his kit, especially with how he gets those spells out in quick succession. He'll get those stacks applied with his auto attacks and with that mystic shot. So it's gonna, if he can poke a little bit with his autos and poke a little bit with his mystic shot, that's gonna also amplify Jace's damage to some extent, because Jace's Q also being physical damage based.
Yeah, and also one thing, I'm not too sure if this is 100% correct, but I think I heard Monte Cristo talking about it. The Ezreal Qs proc the Black Cleaver passes to full stacks hits the Q. Not too sure if that's correct, but that's what I heard off the OGN stream. But if that is true, that's why Ezreal's really strong right now. So, along with Frozen, Iceborne Gauntlet. Sorry.
Yeah. I suspect we might see the. I'm surprised that actually we haven't seen Iceborne come out. Ultimate coming in from Rumble, a lot of damage off the funnel. He's going to get away just. The ultimate coming out from Xerath doing a ton of damage. Everyone's going to walk away very low, and showing how that movement speed in that fight with the Chase Gate and the Nunu Blood Boil, just allowing them to avoid those spells. I think Skype is dropped actually. No! Why is Skype dropped?
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So the call's dropped with Laffy at the moment. I'm just trying to get that back. And whilst that was going on, actually, blue team picking themselves up that mid turret, really sort of getting themselves even more in ahead in this gold game. And now 3 turrets to 1, 27.7k to 23.2. Come on, Skype. Is he decent? Okay, so he's just dropped off Skype for the time being, but we'll carry on streaming at the moment, and I'm sure he'll call me back as soon as his Skype sort of repairs itself. Xerath picking himself up that buff. And Lulu actually building those boots of mobility. That's really interesting. She has the move speed on a W and a really nice slow on that Q as well. So she's going to be able to move around in those fights, and hopefully that's going to allow her to get a lot of. They're going to be able to engage on these guys, because they're going to be able to hit that long range slow, and that's going to make red team have to disengage instantly or face being caught by also the run ball, which is a slow, the Lux snare, and then the Elise stun as well. So a really nice engage from blue team, but Rumble going in on Xerath here, doing a massive amount of damage. Xerath has to flash away. Caitlyn's come across with Trundle. Xerath so low there, and nearly fell to Rumble's damage with that ultimate. The ultimate coming across from Ezreal, narrowly missing the Xerath.
Complete.
Let's see if he's back. He's still not back. Okay, I'm going to carry on casting without him for the time being. I'm sure that will resolve itself. Blue team though, starting off with the dragon, picked it out themselves, so they're going to know that red team doesn't have any vision, and they're going to net themselves another 190g. The goal difference now is 6k. It's a big lead for them to come back from. Ezreal, he's 208 CS to Caitlyn's 127. He's got himself the Black Cleaver and the Bloodthirster compared to Caitlyn. It looks like she's building herself that eye edge to give herself really bursty damage, but Ezreal is having so much sustained damage. Fighting these turrets, actually, just tanking it away there, and he's going to pick himself up that. And that's the first tier 2 turret of the game, full, completely uncontested as well. Great play, Jace pushing that lane up top, Xerath pushing that lane up mid, and no one was there to defend. Blue team pushing onto that inhibitor turret, and if red team loses this inhibitor turret, it's gonna not allow them to turtle if they need to. At least got a ton of damage. as well. Zeras come in as well. Trundle Pillar going down. That's going to sort of make blue team want to back away because they're going to clear out those minions, and they're not quite tanky enough to be able to solo these turrets as well as the rest of the team.
Feel the thunder.
Caitlyn and Zara doing a great job of trying to clear out this minion wave and force them to be unable to go onto this turret here. Picking that out to grab that ward to deny themselves some vision. Trundle trying to engage. He's going to narrowly be missed by that stun. He's got the Jace acceleration gain on as well as his W, which gives him really tenacity. But they're just not going to be able to catch this Lulu, this Ezreal and this Elite. They have so much hiding potential with the slow from Lulu and the stun. But Trundle using that pillar there with Jace and still backing away. Rumble, while this is all going on, pushing top again. Looks like he's going to pick himself up a tier 2 turret here, uncontested. And they're using this split push strategy really well. They're kiting red team away because red team don't really have don't have strong hard engage, and so they're able to kite as a 4 and force red team to think they can get into a 5 fight. Rumble doing a massive amount of damage on Caitlyn as well. His ultimate's going to go down. He's got that Leandri's Torment as well, so he's doing percentage HP as well as with the Ignite, and Harpoon's going to finish her off. But Zara taking a great deal of damage from Ezreal and from Lux. Ezreal's going to pick up that tier 2 turret, that inhibitor turret, sorry, and Rumble going to pick himself up the inhibitor turret as well. So great pushing strategy here, and we're now seeing a 9k gold deficit. So they should be able to carry on pushing and pick themselves up in the first inhibitor of the game, because it's completely it hasn't got that turret now, so it's not got any protection, and red team are in no way tanky enough to fight them and survive the damage output. That's the inhibitor is going to fall. Rumble's still pushing top again, and this is a four-man push bottom, one-man push top, and the 5 members of red team are just not able to catch up with blue team and engage on them and punish them for being a man down. Great strategy here from blue team, and I really like it. Gold 36k to 27k. Rabadon's death cap is picked up by Lux. She's also picked herself up a blasting one, so she's going to have a ton of AP. Caitlyn's finished that eye edge now, but Ezreal got the Black Cleaver as well as the Bloodthirster, as well as the Sheen, which plays well into his auto attacks, plays well into his love of spamming spells. He has a little bit of AP ratios in some of his spells, as well as that Sheen proc being applied on his Mystic Shot as well, so it's going to really amplify his damage output. Zaras has only got the needlessly large rod, and he's also got the amplifying code, so we might see him build that into a DFG, or we might see him try and get a Rabadon's or something. That's Laffy's just come back on the Skype, so we should be able to get into this. Should be able to get a call going and get some duo casting going for a little bit again. I'm sorry about that. I didn't really know what happened. I'm just going to fix my Skype sounds because it turns me down. Well, is it going to be an answer? Looks like not. I'm sure he'll call me again as soon as that comes back. Looks like he's DC'd again. Okay, so yeah, this Rumble's so strong. Rabadon's death cap, Leandri's Torment, as well as that Hextech revolt. So he's got about, probably something on about 45-50 magic penetration, as well as having in the region of 450 AP, and that's his damage output is going to be insane. Ezreal destroying his turrets. He's going to go on to Lulu here. He's using that ult, and Lulu's going to fall. Jace is attacking him as well, but Lulu's come across. She's got that shield as well as his own shield, and he's going to walk away from that, having hit himself up with another kill. Ezreal pushing onto that mid turret. He's half HP'd that in the process, and the top turret looks like it's going to fall anytime soon as well. 10 kills to 4, and you're looking at a 10k gold deficit. Red team really not being able to turtle and withstand some of the damage output here. And this looks like that's another turret that's going to fall, and another inhibitor as well. Zaras gone back. Not Zaras, sorry. Rumble looked like he was going back. Realises his team's there, and is that going to be the second inhibitor of the game? Ezreal getting caught out by the Trundle pillar. Lux Q coming across with the laser, doing a massive amount of that damage to Zera. Trundle, Ezreal, and Lux are going to pick up that inhibitor, and they're going to push up top now, and they're going to be able to pick up all three of those turrets. Rumble getting down that third inhibitor turret for the team now. And I really can't see how Red Team can bring themselves back into this. This just seems like a matter of time. Blue Team really playing this strategy to absolute perfection. They know exactly when to disengage, when to engage, how to duel, and how to 1v1 and fight. Big team fight damage. A lot of damage from Rumble. Rumble's going to pick himself up. Trundle flashing out from Ezreal with the cleanse. Rumble flashing in there. Lux laser coming across. Rumble's got a lead snare onto Jace. Jace is going to walk away from that though, and they're going to grab themselves another inhibitor turret and 2 kills. Great play there by Rumble, doing a massive, so much damage right now. He's 10 and 2, and there's just no answer. That lane swap did not work in the favour of Ezreal, or did not work in the favour of Caitlyn, or in the favour of Jace, and that ultimately is what led to Blue Team's victory there. Really, Blue Team's victory there. Really well played. I'm gonna call him back. Okay.
Yeah,
So that was.
I'm sorry about that. I guess
Nah, dude, it's not your fault at all, man.
It's the ISPs, and I guess power is not good right now in Canadian storms or something. But yeah, I guess somebody hit a light post or something. I don't know. I hear fire truck, so that's not good.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Not
Blue Team won in the end.
Yeah, I watched actually last second of that stream, and you could totally tell by the aggression that they had. It's just like you couldn't do anything else except for just let them take.
And they had. I think that was part of the downfall of Red Team. They had a really great comp, but Blue Team, they were just able to kite so well, and so they were able to fight like 4v5s, or well, not even fight 4v5s, but like push up lanes, and then as soon as the whole of Red Team would come to try and stop them, they would just kite with Lulu, kite with Lux, and kite with Elise, and poke a little bit, and Rumble's like derping, pushing along top all lane long, and they just had no answer for him because he was just so fed.
Yeah, there's one thing that I didn't really think. The turning point was when Caitlyn tanked those 3 turret shots.
Yeah.
That just propelled the blue team to win the matchup, because like you can't give Rumble kills for free. That's just not. It will not turn in your favor at all, because Rumble's just too strong. He can just carry so easily, and we just saw that here as Rumble could take down both of the Caitlyn and the Nunu and top lane by himself.
He had so much AP by the end there as well, and just with that magic penetration, playing hand in hand together. They just weren't able to find an answer for him.
Yeah, and just the invade also at the start sort of propelled Rumble's lane.
Yeah.
He got that cloth armor instead of just having just boots and 3 pots. So just an all around great matchup. We did see the blue team showing their amazing aggression, amazing team comp. Most likely we're still going to see a Rumble ban for sure.
Definitely.
Because that Rumble exactly knew how to play. He stayed in the yellow zone. I didn't really see him ever get out unless he was pushing a turret using his red zone to take down minions quicker. But we're definitely going to see a Rumble ban for sure. He was the deciding factor in that game.
Yeah, it was. What's going on now? Okay, they're just getting ready for this. Okay, so we're just on a little break at the moment actually, and
yeah, I think what they're doing is just so that the other team cannot see, like since of the incident with Team Dynamic and the former Team Absolute Legends, they didn't want anybody ghosting seeing the team comp, so they're just making sure that they don't know what the other team will have.
Yeah, until all picks are done.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be a couple minutes, 3 or 4 minutes maybe at most, till we have that. But yeah, I'm not too sure like what's going to happen here, what they're going to bring out. Hopefully when the delay is up, we'll see. Hopefully we'll see 2 amazing team comps out. These are both high elo players for sure, as we did see one of the players was about 1900.
Yeah.
Not top, but that's still fantastic placement in the elo brackets.
Yeah, I think 1900 is something like the top 0.5% of all LoL players, or something like that, across all regions as well.
Yeah, so it's just amazing how people can play that well,
Yeah.
and we're witnessing it here with all these amazing players.
And ELO's not just about mechanical skill. You have to have mechanical skill to get there, but it's more about consistency. And so these guys consistently play well, and that's something that they need to bring to these tournaments as well, is being able to start out strong like we saw in that first game, and then carry that through and use the momentum they gained and the morale boost they gained as well to sort of bring themselves into the second game and go, hey guys, we won that game the first time, and we can win this second game. And I think a lot of playing it comes down to your mindset as well.
For sure, as we could, like, if you bring that into mind, SK Gaming is the perfect team to showcase that. SK Gaming, if they win their first matchup, they get tons of emotion, like the former SK Gaming, Oslo, RNA,
Yeah.
for the Season 2 championships. We saw the amount of emotion they had going in, beating CLGEU, winning that regional tournament, how much they were in tears after winning. They were so joyful. But when they played in the Season 2 tournament, they lost their first game, and after that point, you could see Ocelot and his team very, very depressed. They didn't like it, and then they made some mistakes within the next games, which costed them the 0-3 in
Yeah.
that tournament. And you could see at one point, Ocelot was really mad at his team and changed up the roster for Season 3. Big time.
Yeah, so as long as blue team can stick to their strategies, and I assume that that both teams have come into this game having researched one another and thinking like what they can come up with and what strategies they can play with. And I think it'll be less about picks, counter picks, and more about what have we practiced, guys, and what strat have we got to answer how they normally play.
Yeah. What I also know is that Zerg man from the one team, I'm not too sure how to say his name because there's like 7 3s in it. He also has, he's also pretty good Tryndamere top and Udyr top, but I don't think they're viable in this patch. But he might bring it out. He really likes that. I'm pretty sure he does. So hopefully you get to see a Tryndamere top because I'd love that.
I would love to see that.
I've seen Hotshot play it on streams and stuff, and he just owns everybody. And
Really?
he also plays, yeah, he plays like weird champions top. I've seen him play Fizz top, Varus top. So I love watching these solo queue streams. Sometimes you just see all this new stuff and just be fascinated.
Yeah.
Teaches you a lot of stuff too, as we are waiting and waiting. But yeah, I'm not too sure what the teams would bring out here. Maybe they're watching other teams play. For example, the Korean teams. Korean teams have been going a lot of compositions with AoE sort of damages. One statistic from OGN that I've heard is during this winter, every team that had a Mumu and MF on the same team has actually won every game they've played in. So that's one statistic coming out there because of misfortunes. Prox with her ultimate and Black Cleaver
Yeah, exactly.
is just way too strong, and then you have somebody like Kha'Zix who's also broken. They go in there and just clean up. So 80 casters are just ruining this game. Just kidding. I just dislike them. But it's what the game is right now, and you just have to live with it. So
Well, there were balance, and the skills of balance around a patch where these items didn't exist, and so they were given these high base
Yeah.
damages and these high scalings because these items didn't allow them to scale it so well into late game. Armor penetration didn't work how it does now. Back when they
Yeah.
were created, and so the way they scale with flat penetration as well as armor penetration is really really scary.
Yeah, for sure. They forgot that they had champions like Lee Sin with this amazing amount of base damage, and now they have good items to play with now, such as Black Cleaver and the early Brutalizer, which is somewhat changed, but
Blade the Ruin King as well being an amazing item.
for Jackson, Fiora, and
Yeah.
those 80 casters, yeah.
Yeah. So it's scary to come against that.
Yeah, I'm not, like, it blows my mind that they could do so much damage in so little time.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty amazed seeing the AP casters chosen in this game, because I was seeing maybe someone had a Lee Sin or something. Maybe it was banned, I'm not too sure. But there was actually AP casters with the Xerath, and who was on the other team? I forget.
Lux.
Lux, yeah.
Lux is
Well,
really strong right now as well, though. She
yeah,
has so
Lux
much damage in her kit as well.
And the thing is, Lux's kit, like, past level 16, everything on her is like super low cooldown, like comparatively. She has long cooldowns, but her ult synergizes well since it's a short cooldown compared to
Yeah.
other cooldowns, 26 seconds, somewhat around there.
Yep.
So it synergizes well with her other abilities, with the snare and the her slow ball.
Lucent Singularity.
Yes, Lucent Singularity. So yeah, that's why a lot of people are choosing Lux. Her combo is really strong. Her ult is far range, so you can pick off people who barely get away from team fights.
Well, that's the thing. You can roam, but you don't actually have to roam. So you don't have any of the disadvantages because you can get halfway down to bot lane or halfway up to top lane, and if you land a good ultimate in that because someone's CC'd, you don't if your mid doesn't come with you and just pushes the mid up to try and deny you, you can just run back in the time that they've tried to push it up, and you don't lose out in either respect. And I think that's where she's really strong. And I would be surprised if we don't see a little bit of a range nerf to her on that ult.
Yeah, like what happened to Orianna before. Orianna was played a lot in solo queue. Like Tremendous, this was about, I don't know, maybe a year ago almost. She had tremendous range on her ball. It was like 600 or something.
Yeah.
So she was able to take down enemies from far away easily, and she had lots of sustain too. The only thing is there wasn't an item like Athene's, so she didn't really have that much mana sustain, so she wasn't played that much in tournaments because she wasn't that solid of a pick. You'd have to get fed with her, but she was a solo queue nightmare for many people.
Yeah.
Because of her utility and her ranged poke.
Yeah, so I think we might see a little bit of a power nerf on Lux in the foreseeable future, and I would be surprised if we don't see a little bit of a rebalance on AD casters as well.
Yeah. Hopefully they bring back old champions. Like they need a remake Heimer. I feel like Heimer's super like weak.
Well,
Like,
there is that remake in the work on Heimer, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and I just really want to see what they do with him.
Yeah.
Because he was either too strong with his 3 turrets or too weak with his 2 turrets.
Yeah.
But still, his rockets do tons of damage, and it's just fun.
His
to play
rockets
him.
are annoying as hell, though.
So he just runs by you, and he does like 500 damage.
he just like a drive-by, yeah.
Yeah, he just like rolls up in his like snowman nigger skin. Is like, yo, what's up, guys? Here, take some rockets. Boom, and then just
Boom.
drives away.
And just runs away.
Some mobility. He has like 500 movement speed. Screw that, man.
Screw that, yeah. I know exactly how you feel. So yeah, I also have you seen a couple of the Korean teams actually have been playing Karma as well.
Yeah, it's really awkward. I don't think it's that strong, but Karma's an okay champion. She has shield, so I think that's why they utilize her a lot because of her shield and her movement speed boost and stuff. Like the Korean teams really like utility and speed champions. Like they like to be aggressive and like to roam a lot with their mids and their tops, and they just like to team fight a lot. So they need that speed to get into lane or whatnot.
This is also why Evelyn is really popular as well in their meta, because they like to be able to go and roam and gank those other lanes, like you said.
And they usually run some sort of teleport.
Yeah.
If not like Shen or something, or the Koreans love Twisted Fate too.
Yeah.
They
That-
usually met with that.
That really epic. I mean, what's his name? That really epic TF play, where he completely baits it out.
Oh, with when he teleports in and then the hourglass.
Yeah. And they use like 4 ultimates on him or something.
Yeah, it was like amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah,
The plays.
the plays were made that day.
Very
Golden
much
TF
so.
Showing the swag. But yeah, it was just amazing overall play by himself, and just showing you the utility that Hourglass gives you, and also TF's ultimate and stuff.
Shall we try and get some more people to watch our stream?
I guess so. Maybe just throw it into some chats. If there's one person watching it, then tell him to invite his friends.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. I'm gonna send some messages out to various people.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back onto League of Legends, and like all I want right now is just some feedback. You know how we're doing, and
Yeah.
if we need to change anything up, or
Yeah, definitely. Feedback is so important, especially in these early stages.
exactly. We need that to propel ourselves.
Shall I
The
post it?
VC.
Shall I post it in the qualifier stream chat Twitch channel? Shall I just do
Wow.
it? Shall I just do it?
If you want to, they're probably gonna remove the link because people are. I don't know. If you
Some people deny the links, don't they, as well? I'm not. I won't bother. It's fine.
you could also always just ask D-Man. Maybe he'll be a really nice guy and tweet it out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll see what he says. I'll send him a message on. Send a message on Twitter. He spoke to me last night. He's such a legend, though.
I know, D-Man. I wish I could be like him, but I can't. I don't really have that accent. I got like an Aussie accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sound like half South African, half Australian.
Yeah, like it's like some weird mix of the two. Cause I've been to Australia plenty of times, so I've like, if I actually try to, I can get it perfected. But you know what? I'll just leave it as this.
Send him a message, but we'll see what he says. Okay, so this game's up now. I'm going to leave you to just talk about I need the toilet really badly, actually. So if you can... Yeah. I picked the worst time, didn't I? Do you want to talk us through Jab Select a little bit?
Okay, so what do we have here? We have the Amumu pick, which is a really strong jungler right now because of his utility with his ultimate. Then you have Sona to go along with it to keep him in that circle. It's a bit awkward. I think the blue team wanted to get a Mumu because of the misfortune and the Mumu ult synergizing, but they weren't able to. Their team composition's a bit weird. They were gonna just have Xin Zhao dash in and Lulu ultimate and hopefully have something there to enough CC to stop the purple team for doing something. But right now, the purple team looks like they have a better comp. They have more CC. They have a lot of AoE damage also. Varus' ultimate, but I would give this towards the purple side, straight composition. So that's where I'm gonna go with for this matchup. The purple team looks stronger than the blue team just because of the amount of AoE damage and AoE CC that they have with Varus ultimate, the Mumu ultimate, Lux snares, Sona ultimate, and the counter strike by Jax. Whereas the blue team sort of, I think they're gonna have some miscommunication maybe. Xin Zhao will accidentally ult and everybody will fly away from Bullet Time and Death Lotus. But yeah, I'm not liking the blue team here, so.
Yeah, I have to completely agree with you on that, Laffy. Like, there's so much amazing CC as well as engage. So if Lux hits that snare or Amumu hits his bandage toss, either one can follow up from another. The Amumu can throw his ultimate out, Sona can throw her ultimate out, and then Varus can use his ultimate as well. You know, there's 10 seconds of like hard CC there that's just going to lock everyone in place and allow Jax to just go to town, Lux to go to town, and Varus just to do his thing and do a lot of work.
I'm not too sure why they picked Katarina. Maybe that was their first pick or something. But there's so much CC on the other team that I don't think Katarina will actually get a decent ult off unless she baits her whole team and goes in 1v5 after the purple team uses all their abilities.
They have so many ways to cancel that Katarina ult as well. And I genuinely, because she's such a popular pick, I suspect that she was first picked. I also saw in Champ Select actually that Syndra was banned.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Syndra actually, she has a lot of damage at level 6. She can outburst any AP carry at mid at level 6. With her balls, like all of her balls, if you will, pardon your Joe, haha, yeah. But her balls, if she has a lot of them on the field at one time, she can throw them with her ultimate and do up to about 900 damage, I think it is, with just like boots in lane.
That sounds right.
It's like really stupid. Like you insta die. And if they were going to pick Lux again, Syndra's a really good counter to Lux because Syndra also has somewhat long-range abilities. But Lux has long-range abilities, but Syndra's has shorter cooldowns than Lux has. So that's probably why they did ban that. So, but that was, like, maybe we don't know. Maybe Doctor... Wait.
I really like this protection comp as well on blue team though. They have Lulu ultimate, the Shen ultimate. So if they can focus both of those ultimates onto maybe Misfortune or maybe Katarina, it's going to allow them to just be like really tanky in team fights.
Yeah,
And
what I believe is what they're gonna do is they're gonna have Zinzao going first. He's gonna just be the bait. He's gonna build Sunfire Cape, Randuin's, Spirit Massage, all these tanky items, and they're gonna have Katarina come in. Shen is gonna ult Katarina. Lulu's gonna ult Katarina. Have that CC make the team go up, and have them in the air while Katarina just does massive damage. And that's what I think would have happened here. What I think would have been a better pick for Katarina is if she had teleport, so she can maybe get into that bot lane, and it would synergize with Shen so well that they could just be 4-man gank top lane, 4-man gank bot lane.
Yeah.
Like, they would be able to do something there to stop the, I don't know, snowballing of the purple team. Because if Jack snowballs or Lux snowballs, you know they're going to just carry hard.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting because I don't actually know how long the Lulu ultimate knockup is. I think it's about a second. But Invade coming in from red team, they're going to get hit by the Lulu ultimate. Jax has got that stun and he's going to hit quite a few people, taking a lot of damage there. Or Shen is. He taunts back out, flashes out again as well. Exhaust onto Jax, ignites on a Mumu, trading back and forwards. And I definitely feel like red team have won this trade. Xinjiao's going to fall there to ignite first blood onto Varus. Katarina's coming in here as well, and looks like Varus might fall. Varus is going to fall, but ignites on Katarina. So is she going to fall to that? No, she's not. Flash coming in from Lux. Lux is going to auto attack to finish her off there, and that's a 2-for-1 invade from red.
Wow, that's a really, really sloppy invade, but it comes better out for red side there, as they do pick up 2 kills for 1.
Yeah, and that's a 600 gold lead already.
Yeah, it was a really sloppy fight, and I think Amumu and Sona did not use their flash.
Yeah.
And then Ghost was not used on Xinzao, and flash was not used on Misfortune.
But Varus, going back though, started with those boots and 3. He's gone back because he died. But he's picked himself up a Doran's blade, and MF is not going to be able to trade with him in any way in lane now because he's going to have the same amount of AD he's going to have more AD than her. That life on hit is really strong earlier on, and he's going to have significantly more health as well. Mumu getting this smiteless leash again, so that's going to help his clear speed. Xinjiao taking a lot of damage there from the jungle creeps, but he started that his E, and he's got that 3 Talon strike. So, when he comes around to gank, he's got a lot of CC in just those 2 spells. He's got a gap closer, which also applies a slow, as well as that knock-up, which does a ton of damage as well. So, actually, really great play by Lulu there, pinking out that side bush so that they can get those side ganks on from Xinjiao as well. And that's a really great play to allow them to have an early vision and placement in those bushes.
One thing is also the Varus isn't strong early game.
Yeah, I mean, we see Xinjiao actually coming down now. Pings were going down, but it looks like he's gonna back off actually and come through this tri-bush. Sona having just warded that, it looks like he's going to work onto that red, and then hopefully we'll see a gank from him, because I really feel like Xinjiao is a really strong ganking champion, and Cyanide in DreamHack, and then to some extent in the World Championships, and then later on in IEM, just showing how strong his ganks can be early on and how much damage he can do as well, and snowball those lanes.
I think my net's fixed now, so hopefully my speed doesn't DDoS me again. But what I was saying before is Varus doesn't have his flash right now. MF needs to play somewhat aggressive, because Varus doesn't have much damage till he hits about level 4, when he has about 2 points into his W, which is where his most damage comes from. So if they apply as much pressure as they can on bot lane, they might be able to snowball Misfortune, who has amazing damage early game, but it does not seem like they're capitalizing on
taking
that.
So much damage there from that Varus trading though, with that area of effect slow damage, and they seem to, that bottom lane, they're pushing it up as well, forcing the MF to CS under turret. And this Amumu, that's the second time he's been to gank mid again, and they really want to camp this Katarina out and make her laning experience really hell and prevent her from snowballing.
If they keep Katarina in that confined space in just her lane, she won't be able to roam or anything.
Yeah.
So if Amumu camps around mid, they might be able to sneak a turret or something.
But we see Xin Zhao coming in here. He's going to get the movement speed buff from Lulu, but it's not the shield from Lulu, sorry, and that's just he's not going to be able to get anything. They've got that ward in the Tribush in as well, and that's just allowing red bottom lane to have so much to be so aggressive and feel so safe at the same time. And Mumu hanging around that mid again. He really wants to, with that Lux, with the snare, followed up by that stun, is going to allow those ganks to come out really easily. And hopefully Lux is going to be able to snowball herself in such a way. She's 101 as well, so she's going to be significantly ahead of the Katarina in terms of gold, who died in that early invade and has only got an assist from that. The CS is about the same, but she's probably going to be about 300 gold ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I really hope they could arrange the things to be an 80 carry jungle. Actually, yeah, because I keep messing up the CS counters, but
I keep having to double check it as well.
Yeah.
Jackson Shen trading out top there. And I don't actually know how that matchup works out. I'm pretty sure it's a skill matchup.
Yeah.
But
Also,
wow. Did you see how much damage came out to Jax there? And did Shen not have his ignite up? And Shen actually had his ignite up, but just not quite realizing how much damage he would do to Jax then.
Yeah, because you think of Shen, you don't think that much damage.
No, exactly. And I think we know Shen having his flashback up now. We might see a dive from him with the ignite to pick himself up Jax and walk away. Amumu though coming in the side, Jax is going to go onto the Shen. He's going to stun him there. Amumu's going to come out as well. The taunt coming down from Shen. Shen's going to ignite him as well during the taunt, and he's going to die there under turret. Amumu not able to respond to that, and Shen's going to walk away. Laffy, is your internet still playing up? I think it might very well be playing up.
Sorry, I keep getting DDoSed, I think. But one thing that I was saying was the minions were really good there for Shen versus Jax. There were plenty of minions doing damage at the time when Jax was trying to harass.
Yeah, and I thought it was an only matter of time. Shen going in on Amumu there with that taunt. And Amumu not having any mana is just not able to trade back with him whilst he's trying to protect this turret from being pushed from Shen again. And Shen is snowballing so out of control.
And then he uses his Qs to heal, and that just makes him sustain in lane, which Jax and Amumu can't go with because they need mana to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus the energy.
Exactly. Shen, it seems like he's building himself a level advantage as well as a gold advantage. His CS is about the same actually, which surprises me. But having got that kill, it's gonna allow him to be so tanky and picking up that giant spell as well. Wow, Jax is gonna really struggle to do any damage to him.
And Shen's damage somewhat comes off of health too, so that's
exactly.
a really good pick for Shen. Getting that giant spell as fast as he can.
I think we'll see him pick up the Sunfire Cape this game because it helps against some of Jax's auto attacks and also allows him to constantly push lane and feel really tanky. But Katarina waiting in this side lane here, and I think we're going to see her go on to. Varus has been polymorphed. Katarina doing amazing amounts of damage. The Ignite on him as well. Is he going to force that? He is going to force that. And this is what we talked about earlier, wasn't it, Laffy? If that Katarina can roam, it's going to help her out a ton when she's not able to get kills in lane and she's being camped by the Amumu.
And that was a good time to do that too. She knew that Lux was going back to get a buff or something.
Yeah.
And she went and capitalized it by going bottom.
Yeah, well, this is one of the advantages of Katarina. She doesn't need that blue buff early on, so she doesn't have. So she doesn't need to leave her lane at that 7-minute point or at that 8-minute point as we saw there. And
she doesn't even need blue buff at all, right? She has no cost. So
well, it gives her the CDR, I suppose, later on, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. But with the resets, who needs the CDR?
Who needs CDR? Exactly.
Yeah. As Katarina's going to put a aggressive ward, which is smart placement there.
Yeah.
So she doesn't ever get caught by a Mumu or anything, so she can keep on pushing well. And we do see amazing ward placement by both teams, and aggressive ward placement somewhat, if you will. But it's just the basic tri-brushes and the bushes near the lane.
The Varus, having had that great start by picking up that first blood, He's got himself that 20 CS lead now ahead of MF, but you know and he's got himself a Doran's blade ahead as well. So I'm surprised that we haven't seen more aggression from him and Sona.
The thing is that Varus is not able to show that much aggression in lane until he gets his ultimate or until he gets enough damage. Sure, he can poke them down, but you can't really do much as Varus until he gets ultimate. But here we have a
Varus picking up that Xin Zhao as we're talking about his damage there. The MF ulti came straight across into that river. It was a really great ultimate, but she's not at that point now where that ultimate can shred teams and absolutely wreck them.
And that was, again, amazing ultimate by Amumu, trapping trapping the Xin Zhao, and he couldn't be able to get away, and just Varus got free auto attacks and took him down easily. I
think that's the crux of this Varus is the Varus's damage is if his team can lock down those guys for him, so that he can just auto attack and feel really safe in that auto attacks, feeling really safe in his positioning. He's just gonna be so troublesome later on as well.
And yeah, we're just waiting on something to occur. We do see that the CS lead is really great for Varus. Varus's auto attack animation is actually really awesome if you ever played him. He has this cool little quick shoot, and you can turn around if you like shift click or A click, if you will, makes it auto attack really quickly. So like he has a really quick animation, which makes him farm easier. And MF has just been harassed in lane throughout because Varus's poke is so far.
Yeah.
He's more of a burst AD champion.
But Xin Zhao coming in the bottom though, Varus picking up that kill. Xin Zhao's going to go onto him there with his gap closer and his knockup. Shen ultimate's coming down as well. Ultimate coming out from Xin Zhao. Is Shen going to get down there? No, he's not, because it looks like Jax is able to stop him. And
could this be a triple kill? Oh, just falls there barely to Lulu.
Yeah.
But he does pick up 3 kills along Sona getting 1 kill, so 2 kills for Varus, 1 kill for Sona. But still, like, that amazing play by Jax at top for stopping the Stand United, so stopping any sort of, and we do see that one of them might fall here.
It looks like this Shen might fall to the Ignite, and and that was a really great play and a great flash by Jax to realise how much damage he can do, and knowing that if he flashed to finish that kill, he was safe to do so and pick it up. It was a really great play.
And we see the red team slowly propelling in the lead. They might have got set back by the Katarina gank, but still they're showing that they still have it within them with the sort of 2k gold lead-ish. And yeah, they're just showing the amazing amount of aggression, and Lux is trying to push her lane as much as he can so Katarina can't go back.
Yeah, and I think in that bottom lane fight there, the CC that red team have sort of allowed them to just be completely dominant and stop the Xin Zhao from cleaning up.
For sure, and we see Amumu sort of wandering around the jungle trying to gank somewhere, maybe even dive, but then got spotted out by a ward, so now he's just running around trying to counter jungle, which Amumus don't really do, but he's trying to do something, maybe going for a gank here.
And we can't see if it's warded because of the directed camera.
I think it is warded. I think it is. I think I saw a blue spot there, so pretty sure it is warded.
Oh, it's pinked out by red team there, so they've made sure that Amumu can come in and gank because they lack the vision.
Yeah, but then the blue team put a smart ward out of vision of that pink ward, so they can see if he does come to that tribe. Let's just you can see it there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, both teams showing the team comp that they have, showing that Jax is an amazing duelist. Look at this, he's just applying so much damage. Even though Shen got an early kill on him, got that. He actually does have his chain vest now, so he might be able to negate some of that damage. But still, Jax just has so much damage, and Shen can't do much. As they do counter the pink ward, Xin Zhao plops it down in that tri-bush. So now they can't be scared of Amumu coming in.
Yeah.
And we do see Katarina placing another aggressive ward near the Wraiths, and that's again another good ward placement by her, making sure that Amumu or maybe even Jax can't come down and gank her. She is trying to go somewhere, if you will. And we haven't seen her roam that much, but Lux has been stopping that, using her ultimate, as you can see there, instead of for damage to clear minion waves, and just put so much pressure on Katarina, forcing her to stay in lane. And in this actual sort of matchup, Katarina is supposed to beat Lux. unless the Lux is like the best skill shot master ever. Because Katarina has amazing mobility. She can dodge out of any sort of skill shot Lux has. Because Lux is shooting for long range, right?
Yeah.
If Katarina can come up close, Katarina can do
The
that.
Sonar ultimate coming out there with the MF ulti as well from coming out across there, and Sonar dropping so low. Lulu and MF going on to the Sonar here. Cleanse out from MF as well to avoid the slow from Varus, but they're not able to
enough
pick
here.
up.
Lulu trying to maybe make a play happen. Does flash, uses her picks,
Oh.
trying to get it down, but barely lives, and probably falling down to the turret as MF. That was too aggressive. They shouldn't have done that. Really poor decision by that Lulu, thinking that she had enough damage. She's like, maybe she did, but Sona has some heals. Maybe she used it there and protected herself. But again, amazing crescendo by Sona to try to stop any aggression happening by Xin Zhao, but then they got caught themselves, but were able to get out due to Sona's amazing kit and her movement speed, basically. Yeah. And it just showed you again that if Varus gets fed, he sort of not that great, but he can still do enough damage to take down enemy. And the blue team just made a couple poor decisions there, diving under that turret. They should have just backed off and pushed the lane, maybe got that turret down.
And I think he's just that Varus is just having a generally great time in lane. He's pushing it really, really hard so that he's forcing this MF to CS and the turret, and you can see that completely by him being like 60 CS ahead of her now, as well as having 5 kills and her having none. So she shouldn't be trying to trade with her with how far ahead he's probably about 2 or 3k gold ahead with how much CS and kills he has, and I'm very surprised that they went that big for him there.
One thing I wanted to point out earlier, as they might be going for Dragon here though, is there were no lane switches during this match, as we did see in the previous match. Yeah. They just wanted to play consistent lane. That was most likely because they got first blood and they're pretty confident that in the past match they didn't need to switch lanes. So we do see again Varus out farming the other AD carry MF. In the last game it was Ezreal out farming the Caitlyn by a ton, as we do see a dueling going out here between Jax and Shen.
Yeah, I think the lane switches were definitely not needed in this game because of that invade, like you said, and working. It was a little bit sloppy, but ultimately they came out with the extra kill by that Lux flashing in there, with that Lux flashing in.
And Lux is just trying to outfarm Katarina as much as she can, taking down her Wraiths, taking down as much farm as she can, as actually Shen might fall down here. No, as Jax just backs off, saying, you know what, Shen has Sunfire Cave, I can't really do that much damage to him, so I'm just going to fall back, push the lane, and go
Xin Zhao coming in onto a Mumu there. The crescendo coming out from Sona was amazing to enable him to get away, followed with the heals coming out to keep that Mumu a little bit healthy, because he got dangerously low in that.
That was actually a really, really clutch ult by Varus, also along with the Sona ult, because Katarina could have probably got a Mumu, but the Varus ult locked her down as soon as she was in sight of a Mumu, so she wasn't able to actually go in, Shenpo, use her combo to take him down and maybe get it reset and taking down Sona and Varus. So that was a good play altogether by the red side, showing the CC that I said during the champ select, how much there is, and just it's fantastic, like how they are able to use their knowledge to pull out this combo.
But we see blue team. This Xin Zhao's waiting around, and he's playing. He knows how aggressive the bot lane has been playing, and Polymorph coming out into Sona. The slow as well with the make it rain. Shen ultimate coming in as well. Lulu ultimate as well. They're going to jump onto the Sona. Sona's going to die here to Xin Zhao, and Shen's tower diving that Varus, but Varus doing a massive amount of damage to him. And Shen, as tanky as he is with that Sunfire Cape, you know, he's not able to survive a Varus pummeling onto him. He's going to get caught by that Lulu slow a little bit. Dangerously low here. Lux.
Did she have her ultimate up? No, she didn't. She wasn't able to burst down Lux there.
But she's going to burst herself a Lulu, though, with her snare and her Lucent Singularity to grab herself a kill.
But all this is happening right now. Jax and Amumu are taking down 2 turrets top. They took down the first tier. Now they're going to take down the second tier. And Varus might be able to steal it. No, barely missing his Q there. Lux maybe get caught out, but she does have her snare. As they do take down the second tier, they're pushing even harder. They have this ability. They are Like, Jax has tons of attack speed. They are going to try to take down the
The flash taunt from Shen straight onto Lux. Lux using her ultimate though, and she's gonna blow up the Shen with Varus. Varus is gonna pick himself up a double kill here onto that MF. Katarina coming in though, picking herself up. Lux and Varus getting that double kill. Jax looks like he's gonna tower dive this Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao though, just getting away and falling to the ignite actually. Wow, really great play by him there.
That was an amazing flash by Misfortune, but she still died. Just cleansing and flashing right out of the Lux snare and ultimate, but not falling, but then falling to the Varus.
Yeah.
But Katarina was there, luckily, to pick up another kill. But all in all, Red Team got 2 turrets and almost took down that 3rd inhibitor turret to half health, and they're probably going to take down this bot turret finally.
Yeah.
For about a couple kills and a dragon. So I'm pretty sure Red has the sure advantage there, as they are now 6k gold ahead of the enemy of the other team.
And this is what they're doing, is they're playing into this gold game actually. And blue team keep going into these trades and going into these fights thinking, oh, hang on a second, guys, we're going to get this dragon off this, and this is going to be really great for us. But suddenly, Shen's come down as well, and Jax and Amumu have jumped straight onto that push, and that was really clever. I really like that. Having that sight to realise that, hang on a second, guys, we can get ourselves a more important objective than dragon, because those turrets don't come back up, whereas the dragon resets every 6 minutes.
I also think that Amumu did steal that blue buff in the enemy jungle while he was there.
Yeah.
Not too sure if he did or not, but it doesn't really affect the team that much since they have an energy top lane, but I guess Xin Zhao would need it there since he's behind in levels.
Yeah, exactly.
But not much happening right now. Mumu with that Oracle is trying to clear out anything he can. Seeing if the blue team has wards anywhere. Blue team is trying to transition down bottom, maybe pulling off some sort of play here as the turret does go down.
And blue team actually having that Shen with the Stan United, and that's being, I think that's a little bit of a curse as well as a great skill for them, because as soon as that Shen wants to teleport down, this Jax has 2 decisions that he can make. He can go, okay, hang on a second, I can cancel that ultimate and keep Shen here with me, or I can allow him to ultimate and then just push straight on and take an inhibitor turret for free.
Shen trying to chase onto the Jax, but that's not going to happen as Jax does use his Leap Strike to a minion to get away. And as that's all happening top lane, the red team does take down the mid turret and expanding their lead even more, almost to set 8k now. And just
they've got a 4 turret lead advantage, and actually we see red team going straight onto Shen here. Jax is gonna leap strike in, not able to land that stun. Shen's gonna taunt straight over the wall to get away, but 4 turrets to 0, red to blue, and that's a 4k gold advantage they've built themselves just from playing those objectives and pushing those lanes really well.
Yeah, and then you can see the aggressive wards coming up by the red team. Just
wow, the flash crescendo there. MF a multi. Wow, that flash crescendo. A lot of damage coming out. Varus ultimate coming in as well. Going to lock everyone down. Varus kiting a little bit with Sona. And Xin Zhao, he's pretty tanky as well with that, and really scary with that red buff. So, backing off there. All this is happening though. Jax pushing up that bot lane. Is he going to be able to pick himself up the inhibitor turret?
I'm pretty sure he will. It was really low before.
Yeah, there's the inhibitor turret.
And that's gone, yeah.
Jax doing a massive amount of damage to MF, and she's dangerously low. She had the ignite on her as well.
I'm actually surprised the blue team was able to trade a kill also. They were able to take down a Mumu pretty quickly. But they did trade about 3 turrets just for that 1 kill. So
exactly.
They didn't really have much of a decision as the red team just hopped on them. And they did take up that top inhibitor and leaving that middle inhibitor exposed.
Yeah, and that gold lead now is 10k advantage in favor of them.
And 7 turrets to 0.
Yeah.
You just see this red team just abolishing the blue team here.
Yeah.
They are just too strong, too good, too aggressive. Just all around great players.
And all of those, and now because they've got the inhibitor down, all of those lanes, they get stronger as well. And so that's going to allow them to push those other lanes, and they're going to be able to get that mid inhibitor, and they're going to be able to get those bot turrets as well. Blue team, though, starting on the Baron.
But what they don't know here is they did get caught by those wards, aggressive wards in their jungle, so they probably couldn't just back off. Yes, they are.
Xin Zhao, though, he's pretty low. So if red team are able to catch them here, I feel that engagement could go really, really badly for them.
Amumu trying to sneak his way around, maybe landing a blind bandage toss.
There's the blind bandage toss onto Xin Zhao. Lux laser coming across, able to pick herself up Xin Zhao. The Curse and Sad Mummy, Jax coming in with the stun though. MF ulti coming straight across onto 3 members of the team though. Varus ulti comes out. That's a double kill for Lux. And that was I think that was a great team fight for Red Team again.
Again, it just shows you they don't care about Amumu. You know what? Amumu can go die. They just need to take down maybe 1 or 2 members of the blue team so they can push inhibitors.
Yeah.
And just the amazing ward placement by the red team just gave them that advantage of landing certain abilities like Amumu's snares, and they're just going to push to win right now. There's nothing the blue team can do. Katarina might be able to take down Jax, but Jax has so much health. She won't be able to do that.
That's the double imperative. Crescendo coming across with Lux snare, and Katarina's going to fall to Varus. Jax is going to pick himself up Xin Zhao, but Jax is going to also fall to MF.
Yeah, but Varus is still alive. And
Yeah.
that's all they need to take down the turret.
Exactly.
But Shen is also back up. They might be able to protect this for a couple seconds longer. Does get hit by
So much damage he's taking from Varus though.
Ooh, this is a bad decision by Shen for going in alone as almost hitting that laser just
There's the taunt as well though. That looks like Lux might fall here if she's not careful, but Varus is going to pick himself up Shen though with that crit at the end there. And MF just not able to trade with him, and Lux just finishes her off, and looks like that's going to be the GG.
Yes, it is. Like Shen at the end there, even though his game was lost, he could have played that a bit better. I don't think he should have went in alone. He should have waited for MF maybe to come closer, but it was 3v1, then it was 3v2, then it was 3v1 again as members of blue team kept going down and down and down. Shen was the only one there with enough health or enough energy to stay within that fight as MF had half health and half mana. But all in all, beautiful play by the red team.
Yeah.
Just amazing use of that CC. Amumu, clutch player, did not really help his team that much, but where it mattered to take down inhibitors, he was there to take it down. And that's all that matters. As long as he's there, he was able to win.
And we saw how those aggressive wards in their jungle that we were talking about, really, they saw them moving down, and they knew exactly which funnel of the jungle they were moving in. So Amumu throwing that bandage toss across, it was semi-blind, but he knew they were going to be there.
Yeah, if Misfortune just had a bit more damage, that could have spun around onto them because of the funnel there. The bullet time just hit every single member, but the only member that was actually there was Amumu because he just went in YOLO mode. He was just like, you know what, let me go 1v5, I can do this, I'll lock them down and I'll die. But Jax will be here to pick up a double kill, or Lux will be here to pick up a double kill.
And that's exactly what happened with that laser coming straight across all of those members locked in by the Curse of Sad Mummy. They were just going nowhere, and there was nothing they could do but tank it, and just chunking off the HP, especially after she built that Rabadon's giving them so much AP.
And I think the MVP of that matchup had to be Sona. The amount of crescendos she hit that were perfect was about like 5. Like, she was able to hit crescendos on the enemy team who were rushing onto her. There was nobody who got out of the crescendo that she missed. She would hit every single one every single time. Just amazing crescendos, keeping Varus alive plentiful amount of times, just living, and just amazing play all around by that Sona. MVP of that matchup.
Definitely. You know, those ultimates were just so clutch and completely fight changing. It was great to see. It was really great to see.
Like, the one fight, if you will, at bot lane, it was 3v2. Sona was able to ult, Varus and Sona were running away, and they were actually pick up MF from another mistake that she made for tanking that turret. That's funny, that AD carry made 2 mistakes, in the same mistake in 2 different matchups by tanking a turret when she didn't really have to take a turret. And that's probably where the downfall was there, but it was just really fantastic play all around by the red team.
Yeah.
And
their AD carry playing amazing in both games, and that I'm surprised. Actually, I'm surprised we didn't see Rumble again. But you know, they didn't want to play it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't fit with their composition this time.
Exactly.
Right.
They were looking for that AOE sort of damage there, or AOE CC to let Varus just hack away at the team because it's just so much damage coming out of that team from Lux and Varus. The AOE is just tremendous.
Yeah, I like their composition. It's an Amumu. I'm surprised that we didn't see an Amumu ban as well, because Amumu is actually a really popular ban across the board.
Yeah, it is, but I think the reason they didn't ban a Mumu was because maybe they knew the enemy jungler wasn't familiar with them, or
Yeah.
some sort of weird kink in their armor, if you will.
Yeah.
That maybe they weren't good with Mumu, or they were just trying the luck, hoping, you know what, maybe we're not going to pick a Mumu, and they got counter picked. Or, as I stated earlier, I thought the purple side wanted to pick a Mumu because they had the MF, so they can have that MF and Mumu comp, but they got counter picked themselves for not picking him first for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what they're trying to go, because they also had a lot of AoE damage too with Katarina and
It was scary for them to
It's
fight. It was so scary for them to fight in that fight.
the thing is, I think they were both going for AoE comps, but there's just only such a small champion pool that people know how to play.
Yeah.
Like, you do have Gallios and stuff, but nobody likes playing Galio except for maybe Hotshot GG, who just does it to troll or whatnot.
Galio
There's
Galio is the best though. We all know
Yeah.
that.
His shield is super OP. He
Yeah.
just shields someone, and all of a sudden he has like 6,000 health regen. Like, what?
Especially now that like Spirit Visage got buffed as well. Like I've seen Galio build Spirit Visage, and it's like, lol, I get more MR from Spirit Visage now, and it makes Bulwark even more fucking bullshit. And you're just like, GG.
And also with the new flash boots, flash and teleport boots.
Yeah.
So now you can just flash in every like 2 minutes.
And Galio tends to take teleport as well.
Yeah, for sure. And like, he can be all across the map, and recently Hotshot played a lot in his not main tournaments but lower end tournaments, like King of the Hill, if you will. He plays it a lot because it's really strong against a lot of team comps, and people don't know how to play him that well, and people don't know his utility and how much he can actually sustain. And
Is what I'm going to ask you about now, Laffy. Is have you heard of the Reddit Cup?
the Reddit Cup, yes, I have.
I have applied to be a caster for that, and I've got an email back from one of the guys. Did you want me to mention you in the thing?
Oh, if you could, that'd actually be great. Maybe then we can be partners, you know? And
Yeah, exactly.
go far. Hopefully we'll be able to do something, and then I'll call out my ISP, rage a bit, and tell them, why are you DDoSing me? Hopefully they'll tell me what's up. I don't know why, but I'm going to do that today. Hopefully I can fix that up. So then when I have that weird thing, or maybe that guy that hit the light pole or whatever it was, because that was a bit scary.
What was your Skype again? He wants the Skypes.
I'll just message you onto the Skype. The name is a bit old. I made it when I was like in 2007 because I thought I'd never need Skype. Same as my
It's the same as my YouTube. Yeah.
my YouTube account's like Crazy Man 420 swag or something. I don't even know. I just use it to watch YouTube videos.
Like, what's this? He doesn't want that. Like, I haven't been in a room with you and I can't stand it. What can't you stand? I don't understand, Cameron.
He doesn't want that. Who's he, and why doesn't he want that?
Azuhigo is very, very confusing, isn't he?
I don't know. Maybe because he's European. Europeans are confusing.
Europeans are exceptionally confusing. You know, we're a brain-addled folk.
No, Canadians are just so smart with our dogs and our snow and our beer and our hockey and our whatever else we have.
I feel it stems from your bilingual nature. You know.
Oh yeah.
Both.
Je parle français, oui, oui. I can speak tons of French.
Can you actually speak tons of French?
No, I took it once in high school, hated it, and just left.
I took French in high school as well, and it was so shit. So shit.
I just know how to say I cannot speak French in French.
Okay. So yeah, I was. I don't know what's going to happen now with the stream. So.
I'll see. I don't know. I think there might be some sort of other stream happening.
It's
Maybe
a little bit of a
little latter end of that, if you will.
Yeah. Let's have a look what's going on. I don't.
Riot Teaser has one.
Yeah, I did see he was in the games with the guy with D-Man though. So I'd wonder whether.
No, it's actually a different whole matchup. They're 20 minutes in, actually.
What's the stream? Can you link us the stream on?
Yes, I sent it to you.
Sweet.
There's no Shoutcaster either.
Awesome. That's exactly what we want. I'm gonna close that one down.
I'm not too sure what the score is right now, but it looks like a pretty close game. 5-3, 21 minutes in, 3K gold lead, 4K gold lead for one side, 4 turrets to 2. Actually, 6.
Corky getting blown up there by the Graves ultimate though. That was awesome.
Okay, so let me just go through these compositions real quick as we're getting into this game. What do we have? The red side here is trying to go for the composition of hopping in on the AD carry with Katarina, Jax, and Olaf. And the blue side here, as they're taking down a turret, they're looking for AoE poke damage? I don't know. That's a really weird comp because I think I went for the poke with Nidalee. Is that a top Nidalee or is that AP? Whoa, Nidalee has a BF sword. Not too sure what's going on here. They have a really, really, really weird comp. Really, really weird comp. And really, really weak builds. But I'm liking it, and it looks like it's going to be a really good game.
Yep.
But yeah.
And actually, a lot of action going down already. Crescendo coming out onto Corki. Corki's gonna fall there to Lulu, but Graves getting himself a kill as well as Ziggs, and that's a double kill actually for Corki onto the Olaf, and Ziggs picking himself up a double kill as well. Was it Ziggs? Yeah, I'm sure it was Ziggs who picked himself up a double kill. So I'm really liking the Ziggs pick. And Olaf getting absolutely destroyed by Nidalee. Nidalee got that double buff now, so she's going to be able to get those. She's going to get that range slow on with her spears onto Jax, and Jax is surely going to fall. A double kill there for Nidalee. Nidalee really, really scary.
Yeah, well, she does have a BF sword,
Yeah,
so she does have tons of damage.
definitely.
If you will. And I think they're just going to go for the poke comp on the blue side, or just define that, because they have Graves with crazy burst damage, Zayds with crazy burst damage, Nidalee's Q as Graves just took down the mid turret. Actually might get hopped on here by Katarina.
Just flashing away to prevent her being able to shunpo. Nidalee doing what she does best, and that's just pushing that lane up and feeling pretty safe with that Cougar form, which gives her movement speed and the pounce to just get away. Corki though, finding out with Nidalee, and here's Olaf as well. He's going to duke that axe though, but Katarina coming in with Sona onto the side, but still Nidalee getting away.
She's not going to get caught. She's way too fast.
Yeah.
And again, with that 4 members top, the blue team are going to just take down that dragon with ease, knowing that the red team doesn't even know where their position are. They're going to try to push down that bottom turret, I think, right now, as it's the last second-tier turret alive. And again, this Nidalee is just split pushing as much as he can, taking lessons from Hotshot GG most likely.
Yeah.
And just split pushing as best as he can. We do see 4 crystalline flash from the blue team for the extra sustain, I guess. And
wow, that damage coming out from Ziggs there. It's going to absolutely blow up that Sona. She's going to fall there, but Ziggs is going to fall to Jax. And Jax looks like he's going to pick. No, it looks like Katarina's going to get that kill onto Lulu there. Just extending slightly too much and getting caught.
Yeah. Ziggs just got too greedy there, trying to pick her up, and I'm pretty sure he could have just let it fly and used his ult to pick it up, but he didn't really want to abuse it so early, I guess. But the trade outcome there is greater for the red team than it was for the blue team.
Definitely.
And this looks like a pretty close game. Right now, across the board, it seems a bit even in kills, with Ziggs and Graves being a bit higher than the rest of his team, as Nidalee messing up a pounce there, trying to get down on the Corki with Corki's Valkyrie will keep him safe.
Exactly. Here's Jax though. Jax has got that. He's got that vision ward in that bush there, so he knew where Nidalee was and what she was doing. But it looks like he's just going to back off. It looks like Jax is going to be building into that Triforce as opposed to Blade of the Ruined King, which you saw last game with that other team that we were looking at.
Yeah, Blade of the Ruined King is actually an amazing item on Jax. Surprised that he's not buying it. Maybe Triforce a bit more costly, but I feel like Blade of the Ruined King would be better. Maybe.
Well, it gives him that movement speed boost, and as well as the range slow, which just allows him to gap close without using that leap strike straight away if he doesn't need to.
What I feel like was the reason of his build is that Nidalee is an auto attack champion, right?
Yeah.
With tons of sustain. So I think he was trying to use that Sheen and Phage to stay in lane and also do burst damage to Nidalee, so she would be able to sustain as much as she can. But
Nidalee picking up the Iceborne Gauntlet as well. I really like this on Nidalee actually. She has really good attack range. And go on ahead.
Sorry, this is the exact build that Hotshot used yesterday in a small tournament against TD, Team Dynamic, and he carried his team to victory with this exact build. Iceborne Gauntlet right now is really, really broken on this patch because of its AoE AoE damage and slow, the radius is really, really large. So they're going to nerf that in the next patch, but
Yeah.
right now it's pretty broken.
Yeah, they're nerfing it for ranged champions only. And there's the Jax coming in straight onto Ziggs though. Ziggs is going to use that his rocket pack to get away from that. Ziggs ultimate coming in though, doing a massive amount of damage to all 5 members of Red Team. Nocturne using his ultimate but not able to get in there. Graves is chasing up as well, and it looks like I felt like Blue Team won that trade in some respects.
Yeah, now they're going to try to take down this inhibitor, which will make them propel further in the lead.
Yep.
Taking down giving that pressure. As Italy takes down the top turret with a split push, it was actually a 4v5.
Oh, it's Phantom Lord's team.
Yes, it is, Phantom. I was going to state that too.
But wow, that Jack's taking a massive amount of damage. But the crescendo from Sona though, coming in with the Katarina ulti as well. But Lulu ulti coming out as well. Graves getting himself a kill. Nadali getting herself a kill. That's a kill for Ziggs as well onto the Corki, and a double kill for Graves.
And I think the blue team is just going to push in lane right now,
Yeah.
as Lulu just kited up the whole red side, and Italy just going for that free kill on Jax.
Yeah.
Well played by the blue team, just carried away here. Oh my gosh.
Phantom Lord though, what a legend. What a legend. And I really like his Ziggs pick. Fountain diving actually at the end here. Oh, the troll plays, the trolls. And they're all going to die in that fountain dive there. We came into that game where they were already snowballing just out of control.
It was just a fantastic play there, and all around just amazing by the blue team, winning that team fight. I'll just be right back 1 second.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know how many games they've already played yet, so. But Nadali so strong. You see, he's 4K gold lead on Jax as well. And Jax didn't have a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. 2-3-2. Considering his team was losing pretty hard, he had a reasonable number of kills, not too many deaths either, and a couple of assists. And Nadali only having 4 kills and two deaths. But her CS 229 to 145, showing that if you don't need a massive amount of kills in lane. As long as you can farm really well, and she 70 CS advantage on Jax, just that's that, and having lots of those objectives, just snowballed that lane completely in her favour. Yeah, I really like Ziggs actually. I think he's a really exciting pick because he doesn't get picked very often. So, he built that Rabadons and the Rylays to have a great deal of damage, be a little bit tanky and have that slow, but using that Chalice of Harmony to give himself that greater mana sustain, so we can throw those bouncing bombs out and keep poking and keep doing sustained damage with them, and that's going to pay dividends for him. Runic Bulwark, really great pick, a really great item, and a really great item for Nocturne as well. Makes him very tanky, gives you a great deal of magic resist, so he could survive that Katarina, and it also makes his team really tanky, and they all work well together and mesh really well. So we're waiting for this next game to come up, and it was fun. Those guys, I really like Phantom Lord. I think he's a funny guy. So it sounds like that was the best of 2 they won. I'm gonna refresh these things so we can see
The brackets.
the brackets. Okay, so all the matches have been played apart from what looked like Game 2. Is it Game 2 Hard Rachel Star and Team Tower Dive TV versus Team 3 Sports? That hasn't been played yet. Rachel Star, I think that's a fantastic team name.
They like to do a lot of things with wood, I can tell you that. But yeah, so there's 2 more games happening. I don't know. Maybe that's on Freak Stream.
Perhaps.
Or maybe that's... I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. That stream seems to have finished now. So Riot Teasers finished his stream. gonna jump on over and see what other streams are going down. So, so who did we have going? Who did we have going on again? There we had. What other streams we got up? Freak stream. Should we jump on his and see what's happening?
See what's happening there. Maybe there's one last matchup we can sort of showcase. One thing that I think we can improve on is you can showcast the team fights, right?
Okay.
So like as a team fight coincides anywhere on the map, you just burst into it and I'll stop talking.
Okay.
And then,
I didn't want to interrupt you too much because
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt you either, so. And then maybe in the downtime we'll just talk back and forth. But
Yeah.
I think your voice is better than mine for team fighting.
Okay.
Because you're more clear. So.
Okay. That's cool. I don't mind doing that.
Alright, that sounds fun. And then I guess I'll talk a bit more during the champ select, or we can just chat back and forth or whatever.
Yeah. No, I like your analysis of team comps and how that works. I think that as a dynamic that works really well. And you have really good insight on how those teams are going to mesh well together.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
That Nidalee build actually has me confused right now. I don't know to be astonished or be like surprised. I think the freak stream's actually not working right now.
No, I don't know what's going on either. I'm going to take out our pop-out mode and see what it says. It's live though. Oh, sorry about that. It's live, so curious what's happening.
So yeah, there's two more.
Yeah, there's these two more games that need to be played. I don't know who's going to stream them, and then we're not going to see the next set of matches till tomorrow, are we?
No, I don't think so. I think there's just
Yeah.
somewhere to go.
Well, they've got dates across the top. So tomorrow they're going to have the best of threes for the second tier, and they're also going to have the third tier as well. And then they haven't got dates for the semis and the final.
This is the last stream, I think. Here, there's a game going on.
Okay.
Yeah, no shoutcasters at all. It's for Riot Games.
Yeah.
And it just began, so.
What's happening? Stream? Why have you died? Aha! Right. Okay. So, go on then. Talk us through the team comp.
Okay, so what we have here, let me just look through this a bit. We have Caitlyn Nunu, that's a strong bot lane. We have, okay, so they're going to go for the AoE poke damage from TF and the AoE damage altogether. So they're going to try to fight in the Maokai ultimate and have Riven do a lot of damage to Broken Wings and her W, I just forgot what that was called, sorry. But she's going to try to use those items. Actually, there might be something going on here.
So yeah, onto this bot lane actually, a lot of damage coming out onto MF there from Corki and from Caitlyn and Nunu, but the exhaust came out on her as well. She managed to cleanse that off and carry on fighting and turn what looked like a bad trade for her into, especially in a 1v2, completely on its head. Just demonstrate how amazing her early game damage is, especially with that double up. Yeah, she can just, as we just saw there, she shoots that back of the minion with that double up, and it just jumps straight onto Caitlyn. She just with Nunu being a support that doesn't have any kind of sustain, it's very difficult for them to trade.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I also see here is that we have some high elo players. I know Swain Gretzky on the NA ladder was about 5th or 6th. So this is actually going to be a nice matchup here. It could go either way still. There's about 500 gold lead, 600 gold lead, so there's not much difference between the teams. We do see Kazakh's top, who's a bit broken in this patch still. So he can do a lot of damage 1v1, but Riven is sort of keeping her away, only died once. And one thing I'd like to point out here, Kazakhs is going for Manamura, so his Q, even though it also does tons of damage when someone's alone, it's going to give that, I think it's like 3% extra more damage when he gets that Manamura. So that's why a lot of people build Manamura on Kazakhs, just for the click shot Q, which just does crazy damage.
And it's going to be really scary.
Exactly. And we see his matching his rockets first to have that range against Riven, who's mostly a melee fighter, melee bruiser,
Yep.
and using his range to try to poke out Riven as we see a lot of damage going out onto her, also adding a lot of CC. And he does have Crystalline Flash, and also the Tear of the Goddess for that man sustain.
Yeah, I really like this. I really like this. I really like Zyra mid actually. But I've noticed every time I see a Zyra picked, TF is picked to kind of counteract her, because obviously you get that 5 gold from killing her plants, and so that TF passive I think plays really well into trying to counter Zyra, because every time she uses her plants and you kill them, you're getting 7 gold, and suddenly Zyra has to be really careful with how she uses those plants.
Yeah, one thing is Zyra's somewhat slow and can't keep up with TF, and TF can teleport easily to any lane and help out his team. But we do see something maybe...
damage.
Ooh,
So much damage going out there. TF teleport though. Well, it looks like he's going to be going top. He's gonna teleport up there. He hasn't got a gold card locked though. The stun's getting ready there. That yellow card with the wild card, followed up by the Riven Wind Slash, is going to finish him off there. So clutch. I thought he might get away for half a second, but no. Really well played there by TF and Riven.
And that Ignite just ticked away the last bit of health that was on Kha'Zix there. Good gank by TF. A bit sloppy at the beginning, but we might see something else happen here as Riven...
and the flash from Maokai to get away from that grasping roots from Zyra. But Lulu MF trading so well in that bot lane against Caitlyn. They're doing a load of damage. But is Zyra and Lee Sin going to get caught out here by TF and Maokai? It looks like they're going to be doing a little bit of to and throwing up here. Lee Sin taking a bit of damage. He's going to use that Tempest. The roots coming out onto the Lee Sin. Lee Sin getting caught by the gold card. But the Zyra ultimate coming out with the Ignite onto Maokai. Is Maokai going to fall? He's going to fall to that Ignite there. Lee Sin's got his Q onto Riven. Riven's going to just get away using that shield. And that's a 1-for-1. However, with both junglers falling to the mids.
But that's a bit... We're not as good trade as for the red team, because now Riven has to go back again when she just went back. So she's going to lose a lot of XP, and you don't really want to fall behind in XP against Kha'Zix, because if Kha'Zix is a level or 2 higher than you, he has more damage and can output more damage onto you and most likely kill you in a solo lane.
Exactly.
So,
and I think Riven needs to be very careful, and hopefully this Maokai is gonna camp that top a little bit and bring her back into this game, because she's got a couple of assists though, but she's 30 CS behind Kha'Zix already. And that's really difficult for her. Trading with Kha'Zix there as soon as she came back to lane, and she's already lost a third of her HP.
and we do see that blue is lacking some wards in the top lane, putting it in that brush there as Maokai might be able to come through.
The TF ultimate coming out as well, trying to get themselves that Kha'Zix again. Kha'Zix just getting away. I suspect he used the leap. I wish the director camera would change it back though. And it looks like MF accidentally missing her, cancelling her ultimate there, taking a few tower shots though. The exhaust coming out. Lulu's trying to save it. She used the cleanse there, trading back and forward with Caitlyn. Caitlyn, is she going to fall? Doesn't look like she is. She's going to walk away dangerously low. And that was a really bad misplay by MF, cancelling that ultimate and running under turret, taking a few shots, and ultimately that led to her demise.
That was just one of the best plays I've seen by Nunu there. Yeah. Just he knew that they could kill her because the auto attack speed of Caitlyn is higher than the auto attack speed of Misfortune, but the the double up was not able to do enough damage to kill Caitlyn, just barely, as she flashed away from any sort of damage, maybe from Lulu's poke or whatever, and just living.
It was so close, and it was a really great play by that bot lane, knowing exactly how much damage they could take and how much damage they could deal.
And we do see here sort of just waiting around. Good ward coverage by both sides, as Kha'Zix knows that he is sort of getting camped because he is really strong at the moment, so he does have wards throughout. Has wards near the Wraiths. That's for if TF needs to walk up. They'll see TF teleporting, making sure, as that ward does actually go out when I'm talking about it, of course, my luck. But yeah, so the wards are good. Both teams have sights if they are invading, or if either team is going to invade or either team is going to run away, as we do see maybe a gank perspiring here with Lee Sin in the middle and Kha'Zix coming down.
Yeah, I'm really scared for TF right now, because if Lee Sin can come, it looks like he's going to back off as we start talking about this gang maybe happening. Kha'Zix though, it looks like he might have been spotted out by Ward. Ping's coming down on him, so Riven knows that he's gone, and TF backing away, playing really safe. Maokai though, look, getting pinged out by blue team, spotted out by that Ward straight away in the river. Kha'Zix trading so well with Riven. And she's not having a fun time at all. She's got those 2 long swords, so it looks like she's going to be building into the Brutalizer. But Kha'Zix already having that Brutalizer, just really difficult to trade when he has that 10% CDR as well as the armor pen and the AD.
Sure, and not too sure what's gonna happen here. No turrets have fallen down though. That's obviously surprising since we do have a Caitlyn and Nunu who would push really hard, but MF is also a nice pusher. So you do see the blue transferring on to the TF, so now he can just spam gold cards instead of trying to sustain with his blue cards.
Yeah.
Riven just trying to come in, collect some farm because she is behind about 40 farm from Kha'Zix, which is a lot. Actually, she might just go for a gank here. She's trying to sneak around. They're gonna go for the dragon, using all 5 members to come down. As they do, the blue team does know this.
And but they've dropped that pink ward though, so they now have no vision of them. Lee Sin, he's not in a position to do anything. Kha'Zix is top, so he looks like he's going to push that top turret to try and respond to that. There's the turret, there's the dragon going to fall there straight away. MF Lulu not even there in lane, so they weren't even able to try and push them off. And that was a really great pickup by Red Team, and getting themselves now 1,000 gold lead.
And that was just a super good decision, knowing that the bot lane was going back, so they couldn't defend that dragon. They were able to take it out, and luckily their top tower stayed alive. It might fall here actually as Kha'Zix is going back. Most likely it will, and there it is.
Yeah, that's a really.
And it might be a counter gank here. They're both going top, so not too sure what's going to happen. They're both sort of backing off Maokai and Lee Sin, and there might be something happening here.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see sort of how blue team are going to try and respond to this, because the gold is definitely in their favor. And actually we're going to see them take out that bot turret. So that's going to net them a little bit of gold and probably put them ahead in honesty.
We do see a lot of pings going down. The bullet time to clear the minion wave, trying to push down that turret as fast as they can. Pings going down in the red jungle of the red side, from near the red buff. Sorry, and
looks like TF might find himself Lee Sin here. Lee Sin actually having his Q on him actually, so he spotted him out first. But Kha'Zix has come down as well. Riven looks like she's going top. And I suspect we might have a tower dive on here, or possibly as they're pushing up that bottom turret, they might come up as well.
Kha'Zix doesn't have his evolution yet. If I was him, I'd get level 11 as fast as I can so I can get that leap. But we might see a team fight corresponding. They might actually gank at bottom lane here. That turret is low, so they might actually try to do a tower dive here as Lulu's going in.
Yeah, Lee Sin's, here he is there. The Lulu ultimate coming in as well with the Dragon Rage. Going to jump straight on that Nunu. Nunu doing a massive amount of damage, but he's going to fall, and that's a double kill for Misfortune. A really great play by them, seeing how they were slightly overextended and how low they'd got them previously with the Caitlyn ultimate, and the lack of sustain that she has. She only has that Bloodthirster, but they're just preventing her from sustaining back up.
Yeah, and again, the bullet time was just did a lot of damage.
There's the flash gold card. Oh, she's going to narrowly get away. Kha'Zix has got Ignite on him. He's dangerous low. Using that leap with the Maokai's Twisted Advance, looks like he's just going to get out of there as well. Really clutch. Can Lee Sin pick himself up a TF though? He's going to get slowed by the red card, and he's going to back out. And he doesn't want to go into this.
They do have a ward in that bush, so Lee Sin knows that Maokai's still there, so he's not going to try to engage. The minions are pushing hard top, and we don't see... Maybe Kha'Zix is going to transition there now, as he does see them pushing hard.
Wow, that damage coming out onto Riven there. She's going to fall to the Ignite, though. Hitting her with the Grasping Roots, using those 2 plants as well as her ultimate. Just so much damage in such a short space of time, and that's primarily due to having those sorcerer shoes, which give her great spell penetration, as well as having that dangerously large rod, giving her a buttload of AP.
And she can still stay in lane along with that Chalice of Harmony, giving her the mana just enough to stay there along with the Castling Flask and the Doran's Ring. But Zyra's AP mid-burst is really high compared to a lot of other champions. And we do see another turret going down there. And
Lulu finding herself Caitlyn is gonna back off because it doesn't look like they want to go onto that. Lee Sin's hanging around. It looks like Zyra might want to go back. She's 201 right now, and the CS is about the same between her and TF. TF also having a pretty good game, being 2-1. So they're both being able to pick up these kills, and they have to be really careful actually, because all of Zyra's damage on her ultimate is dealt up front. It's only the knock-up that gets applied later on.
And the goal lead is slightly in favor for the blue team. They might extend it here, getting another turret, as all members are near that mid turret, and it does fall down. But I wouldn't count the red team out yet. They do have a lot of damage from afar and AoE alike, but the pushing here from the blue team is still tremendous, as actually you do see it engage.
Yeah, so a lot of damage coming out from Riven there, but the Lulu ultimate coming onto Zyra to protect her. It looks like that MF's going to pick herself up Maokai. Caitlyn getting herself a double kill onto Zyra and Lee Sin. TF picking himself up Misfortune. Red team having a really great team fight there. Kha'Zix has managed to get away from that. The gold is even from that fight. Lulu's going to escape as well. And so much damage, and Maokai's ultimate being a lot of the protection that red team needed in those fights to keep themselves healthy because of that 20% damage reduction it gives.
That was just an amazing engage by Maokai, catching out one of the blue team's members, and now from that they're able to take down 2 turrets, as Kha'Zix was trying to take down Riven, but Riven was not alone, so he did not have enough damage to try to take her out. And now here goes the speed away from the red team. Amazing team fight. Like I was saying, I wouldn't count the red team out yet, even though they were down turrets. They showed that they still have a lot of range damage and AoE damage to negate that the advantage that the blue team had there, which was not that much, but it was somewhat of an advantage.
And I think this is where Maokai's strength completely lies. Lee Sin being a great ganker, being a great duelist, and has a lot of utility. But Maokai, when you get into these skirmishes and you get into these fights, having that damage reduction is completely crucial. They survived Zyra's burst, they survived Kha'Zix's burst as well, and they survived MF's ultimate. And then once those ultimates have been used, they've got a little bit of downtime. MF being the only one really where a lot of her damage comes from auto attacks. Kha'Zix wants to get in there and use those void spikes and leap around, and he just wasn't able to do that because his team fell so quickly after they'd survived the initial burst.
But soon, once MF gets her Black Cleaver and Zyra's able to hit a good ultimate, it could sway in the blue team's favor. So any team fight, depending on the positioning and where they are, could happen. As we do see Dragon popping up here, and red team's going for the second Dragon of the game.
The blue team having this pinked out though, red team have no vision on this. So if they're forced off this, they could stand to lose this though. It looks like they're going to pick themselves up. Maokai smiting it out though. MF ulti coming straight across. A lot of damage coming out onto all members of red team from that though. Lulu ultimate is going to go on to MF to keep her healthy. Zyra's going to pick herself up Riven. TF's going to pick up Misfortune. Maokai's going to fall there to Kha'Zix. And this team fight's going in favour of blue team. There's a gold card onto the Lee Sin though. Lulu doing a little bit of damage. Zyra doing a ton of damage. He's going to flash away. Lee Sin's found himself a Nunu, but Nunu with that Ice Blood is so difficult. Nunu flashing out of that though. Kha'Zix is with him. Is TF going to pick himself up Lulu? He is going to pick himself up Lulu there with that gold card and the wild cards. Zyra is pushing up here, and could we see a tier 2 turret fall? Perhaps. The bot lane is pushing up. Lee Sin be able to tank this with those plants as well, and that really nice shield.
One thing I'd like to point out there was Nunu's great play. As soon as Kha'Zix jumped, he flashed away, so he wasn't able to die from Kha'Zix, as he did see him pinching down from that blue buff. And also an amazing play by TF to come in behind Misfortune and take her out. Because Misfortune was going. She was gone because of Lulu ult. But TF showed the amazing awareness as Nunu might get caught off here.
Nunu thought he was going to get caught. I thought he was going to get caught out there for a second with that ward there in the tri-bush from Nunu, just to make sure where they're recalling. TF, he's hanging around though. There's a ward there from him as well. The wildcards coming off, clipping that Zyra, but everyone's going to back out nice and safely. The kills, there's only a one kill lead here, and the gold swinging back into the favour of red team. This game has been so to and fro.
Exactly. It can go either way. I think what the blue team wants is to fight in the jungle. They want to fight in the jungle because there's not much maneuverability for the red team to have. But it could go either way, as it would be better to fight. They need to fight in Maokai's ult. If you can't fight in Maokai's ult, then you're most likely going to lose a team fight because of the amazing burst damage, AoE damage that the blue team has. But if they are able to fight outside of his ult, fight inside of his ult, the red team will carry away with this with Caitlyn in the back just
Yeah.
firing down and Riven in the middle showing with the black cleaver just pouncing away onto AD carries, pouncing away onto whoever because Riven's burst damage is so high.
Yeah, exactly. And if she's able to lock down that misfortune for even 2 seconds, they're going to be able to burst her in that window because Caitlyn doing a massive amount of damage, TF having so much damage on those wild cards, and Riven also having a lot of damage and able to execute her with that wind slash on her ultimate. So they have to be really careful. And misfortune, I think a lot of these team fights are going to be down to her placement.
So everybody on the blue team has flash up right now, so they're looking for some sort of engage, hopefully, because they know that TF and Nunu and some members of the red team do not have that flash. So if they are able to catch one red player off, they'll be able to win a team fight. And also, Misfortune just picked up a black cleaver, so with Kha'Zix.
But the engage coming out here from Maokai, the ult's going down. They're all staying in it. So that Misfortune ult is still shredding though with that black cleaver. So much damage. Kha'Zix picks himself up a kill on Nunu. Zyra picks up a kill on Caitlyn. Matt flashing in there from Kha'Zix. Is he going to be able to pick himself up another kill? He's dangerously low now from tanking that turret, and a lot of damage coming out from TF. And that's going to be that tier 2 turret falling. Really, that damage from MF completely changing that fight. Wow.
Like I was saying, the black cleaver composition by Kha'Zix.
Oh my god.
Zyra's ult, putting them all together, and another black cleaver by Misfortune. What Misfortune's black cleaver does is applies all the armor pen procs that they need, and then Kha'Zix, what does he have? He has a cooldown leap that resets every time he gets a kill, so he'll just hop around, take down the carry, take down another carry, take down the support, take down every squishy champion that they have on their team quickly, easily, and it's not going to be in Maokai's ult because the carries are going to be in the back, right?
Yeah,
outside
exactly.
of Maokai's ult.
They're terrifying right now, and I don't see how they're going to answer to those black cleavers. They work so well together, and the way that their skills work together is amazing as well. It's really good to see because they're using those champions to the complete full extent that they have.
And Kha'Zix is getting deathly closer to that Mana Mirror. Once he has that, I'm not too sure that the red team will be able to stay within this fight. They need to get some sort of Guardian Angel or some sort of defensive item as soon as possible because the burst damage is going to be so high for the blue team.
I'm really surprised that we haven't seen some kind of armor item come out on Caitlyn yet because the crux of these fights are she does pretty good damage having the Phantom Dancer and the Bloodthirster at this point in the game. So realistically, she just needs to survive right now, rather than trying to make her damage output even more ridiculous.
So we do see that Maokai has the Ages of Legion, so that does give them some sort of armor, some sort of matches. It's not a lot.
They nerfed the armor on it, didn't they? So it now only gives 10 armor, which is nothing in the meta game. Really, when you've got Black Cleaver giving you 15 armor pen flat.
And it's just like, there's not much you can build against Black Cleaver. You have to go health. As we can see, a lot of health items coming up from the red side. Because if you build armor, the armor pen's just way too strong for you to actually sustain through. So you need lifesteal and health. That's all you can really do to counter any sort of Black Cleaver. Because if you have health, they don't have enough burst damage to take down.
Wow, that damage coming out into Caitlyn there, just from the Zyra poke with a little bit of MF damage, just half healthing her straight away. It's and that's that. I think that's what they need to be very careful of. If Zyra can land that grasping roots, and Kha'Zix leaps into the middle of that fight, we saw the Lulu ultimate come down on him as well, and you're stuck in the air on that knock-up from the Lulu ult, and MF firing that ulti, and I feel like they've completely planned around that engage. But the Maokai ultimate coming straight in down the middle, the Zyra ultimate going onto the TF and the rest of the team, the MF ultimate coming straight down. Nunu's going to get completely blown up before his ulti can do a lot of damage. Zyra's going to pick herself up a kill. Caitlyn picks up the Lulu. Riven picks up the Zyra. MF's going to kill the Riven. Caitlyn's going to pick herself up Misfortune, and Caitlyn picks up herself another kill for Lee Sin. TF grabbing that Kha'Zix, and he's so low.
Kha'Zix just died there before he could take out TF. He was in mid-leap, and TF was just like, wait, what? You're in mid-air? You know what? Here we go, some cards. He just threw them out in mid-air. He was like, here's the Jack of Hearts. And
wow.
There goes Kha'Zix's side.
So much, so clutch play from him there. Really, really great. Really great.
And the perfect thing there was they had Shirelius, so they were able to run out of Zyra's ultimate before it was able to sprout up, and they were able to fight in Maokai's ultimate. Most of the brunt damage from bullet time happened in Maokai's ultimate.
Did you see as soon as that bullet time came out, they just went boom, dispersed, and we're like, right guys, we can't be in that lol line, because if we get in a line, we're just gonna melt. And they just completely dispersed. And the MF ulti, I felt she used it a little bit too early.
Yeah, she should have waited for Kazakhs to get in some sort of position
Yeah.
to go and clean up the kills, because we did see plenty of them were low, but
Yeah.
Kazakhs wasn't there to clean up, and the red team does take down a tier 1 turret from that.
Yeah.
And we do see they do not have any, the red team does not have any wards there, but they do have Maokai saplings.
A lot of pings going out from blue team, sort of saying, "Hang on a second, guys. We should try and steal these buffs away before we try and look to this look for this Baron buff."
And also, those pings were most likely to go out for wards.
Yeah.
As Dragon is now up and Baron's up.
Yeah.
So they're looking forward to maybe grab their first Dragon, as the red team took both of the earlier ones. And it looks like another team fight might coincide here.
Yeah, exactly.
with
Ping's
Dragon.
going down from red team, so they know they're doing it. The TF ultimate coming down as well. It looks like Dragon's just going to fall. Lee's going to smite it out. The Maokai flashing using his grasping roots as well. MF ulti coming straight across, but in that Maokai ultimate, there's a lot of damage coming out. Nuni's going to fall to Lulu actually. Kha'Zix is so low. Lee Sin is going to get into the middle of there. MF picked himself up a kill on Riven. Zyra picked herself up Maokai. Blue team dangerously low. Wow. The ultimate coming out from Caitlyn. No one's going to fall to it as well because of a great block. Wildcard's clipping the Zyra. Whoa. This is everyone is really
They
low.
are so low. How did they survive?
Whoa.
MF just gets in the way of that Caitlyn ultimate.
Oh my god.
Blue team barely surviving. Kha'Zix is looking for his prey, looking for that TF to maybe kill, because he does have enough damage using that crystalline flask to get enough health regen back.
Yeah.
But blue team played that tremendously well.
Yeah.
Used their positioning to override any sort of damage from Maokai to get in there. Maokai actually snared onto Zyra there instead of the carry. I'm not too sure why. Zyra could just bind him down and then just flop him up. So Maokai going a bit prematurely there in that engage.
Yeah.
But overall, the blue team just turned that one around easily and just barely lived by the skin of their teeth. And just amazing play to get out of that one. Almost costing their life. If Caitlyn just had enough sustain, she probably could have got a pentakill. But
I was pulling my hair out just like, oh my god, so many of these guys are on like 200 health. What the hell? It was really clutch. But the Riven just falling there, so that was in the favor of the blue team. And blue team grabbing that dragon early as well, so that really worked in their favor, and they're pulling back this gold lead now. That they're only 3k behind, but they're 3 kills ahead, showing that those two early dragons for red team just gave them a ton of gold.
yeah, and then it's the turrets are sort of even, but the 3-0 exchange was the last thing to happen there, bringing the blue team somewhat closer. And as you said, the dragons are the differential right now. Is the dragon count is 2-1 for the red team. But again, that team fight was so close. It could have gone either way.
Definitely.
The positioning of the blue team was too good. Kha'Zix is actually building health here because nobody on his team has beefy enough. As TFL does go down to give them vision on where the blue team is. Blue team is so close together here. They don't want to be so clustered up, but the red team cannot capitalize as Caitlyn is trying to run back into lane.
And I think red team are just going to play a little bit passive now and let that TF ultimate come back up, because that's a lot of his placement. If he can use that gate to get into the back and catch a carry off guard with a gold card, it's going to allow red team a better team fight. But as you mentioned earlier, the Maokai going in a little bit prematurely. This is exactly why Maokai should be building Shirelias, so that as soon as he twisted advances, he can Shirelias the rest of his team. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen the captain boots come out from him to give his whole team that movement speed as well. So, I think he needs to look at what he's doing right now and how he's getting into these fights, and and maybe if we see some more move speed come out from him and move speed coming out onto his team, they will be able to actually engage. There's the twisted advance straight onto the Zyra. The ultimate coming out with the MF ulti doing a massive amount of damage. Kha'Zix leaping into the back, jumping onto Caitlyn. But Ribbon, she's doing a lot of damage to Zyra. Zyra gets ultimately by Lulu, and she's going to walk away from that. Lee Sin picking up the Ribbon, Caitlyn picking up the Kha'Zix in the end. MF getting the shutdown onto Caitlyn though, and blue team walk away with two members lost to one member of blue team walk away with one member lost to two members of red team.
But this time, blue team has enough health to actually push through,
Yep.
and they're trying to take down this turret as fast as they can, as they did push it through before. But I'm not. TF actually has his ult up if he wants to try a risky business here, maybe catching.
Well, he's got that Zonya's hourglass, so he can engage now, and then an hourglass if he needs to get out. There's the flash gold card straight onto the Zyra. It's going to pick her up. The Maokai ultimate coming down though, not going to keep him healthy enough. Blue card as well with wild cards from TF. The Lee Sin though, queuing onto TF, using that Zonya's hourglass to keep himself alive, and I think actually that was a really good play there to stop the push. TF picking himself up a kill for Maokai's death is definitely worth it, getting him a little bit more gold. Maokai being this tanky support jungler that doesn't really need a lot of items and doesn't really need a lot of gold.
Sadly, though, they weren't able to protect it as best as they could, as the inhibitor did fall to minions and MF just hacking away at it, not caring where where Maokai and TF were, because Lee Sin just had enough damage.
And it looks like she's building into a Last Whisper as well. That is going to be horrendous. 35% armor penetration with the 35% stacked up from Black Cleaver. Wow. With the flat penetration as well, stacking better with percentage is going to be that's going to be terrifying. And they're going to have no answer to that because they haven't built massive amounts of HP.
Yeah, one thing I like about the blue team's composition is that Lee Sin has Bulwark and Lulu has Aegis. That's enough to sustain for the back line and the front line because it gives that sort of health regen, sort of armor, magic resist, whatever. It gives that boon to everybody on their team basically because they're going to be nearby each other since Lee Sin is going to be the front line alongside Kha'Zix and Lulu's going to be beside Zyra and MF. While you only have Maokai, who's always going in first by himself with that Aegis, not really giving it to his teammates, dying really early, even though he does have 12.
But blue team coming in on the side here, red team, Shirelia's going out as well, but flash over from Nunu to slow everyone. The Zyra ultimate coming out straight into that nice gap there, funneling everyone in. Has the MF used their ultimate yet? Yes, she has. It's cancelled. Blue team taking a lot of damage, but Maokai's going to fall. Is Maokai going to fall here to Kha'Zix? Kha'Zix getting leaped away. Twisted advance coming in. Kha'Zix picking himself up a kill. Gets the reset on his leap. Is he going to be able to pick up this TF? Well, gold card as well with wild card. Is he going to be able to get that TF? I don't think he is.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's going to teleport in and take it.
He's going to get him with the void spikes. Wow.
Oh
really
God.
Clutch play.
I went both ways so quickly.
Wow.
Quadra kill almost by that Kha'Zix, almost taking down all members, most of the members down of that red team. But Twisted Fate with an amazing play, not using his ultimate early, but waiting for the team, which was super low, to barely get that Kha'Zix. It could have went either way there. Amazing play by TF. Did he still have his Zonias up? That's the thing. If he did, then...
It looks like he did.
He did, too. He didn't even have to... He was just like...
His positioning was so good then. He knew exactly who to hit with his gold card and got those wild cards. And they just funneled everyone straight in. And they put that Maokai ultimate in that little gap on the side of the jungle, on the side of the top side jungle. And everyone that was in that little funneled zone was safe because of the Maokai ultimate protecting them with that 20% damage reduction. A really good position to fight, and I love the Nunu flash engaging. That was fantastic with that giant slow aura from his ultimate.
Another thing that was happening there was Caitlyn was in the middle. It was Caitlyn and TF for the last two members.
Yeah.
The red team versus 4, I think, members of the blue team. Caitlyn was just in the middle, shooting with that Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, just hacking down at the team. They were all so low because Caitlyn was just in the middle, auto-attacking everybody.
Yeah.
And they couldn't stop her, and TF just cleaned up, and it was a 4-for-4 trade. It's a really close game. It could go either way. Blue team down a bit in gold because of the Dragon still, that 3k deficit. But still,
right now...
show that
I don't feel like gold is making any kind of difference in this game. It's completely down to mechanics, and it's awesome to see.
And it's definitely the positioning of either team. We see that the red team had a better position that time other than the blue team, and were able to negate most of the damage They did stop the bullet time early. I'm not too sure how they did that. Wasn't really paying attention to the bullet time. Besides,
I think it looked like TF might have actually got a gold card in there. It looked like she was stunned.
oh,
Or
okay.
maybe Riven actually, no, sorry, Riven got in the back there because she went really
Oh,
balls deep and
right.
picked up the MF. So I think she probably managed to cancel that bullet time with her stun.
Yes, that's probably what happened. I think Riven's next item is probably going to be a Guardian Angel.
Yeah. But you
Uh,
see, like, because that MF is doing so much damage with how much armor penetration is, Riven's had to completely alter her build path and just build that Warmog's armor because it's terrifying.
One thing to point out here, across the blue team, their kills are spread out through the top laner, the AD carry, and the mid laner. Where on the red side, it's only the AD carry and the mid laner that has kills. So if the blue team are able to capitalize on taking out those two,
And the TF
they will-
ultimate going out as well, so they want to get the vision on there, and then looks like they're going to engage in the exact same place again. Riven going straight in, but the bullet time coming straight across, that's going to shred Riven down so low. Caitlyn's on about half HP. TF's going to pick himself up Lee Sin though. Maokai's going to pick himself up
here comes
Zyra.
Johnson.
Zyra getting the double kill with her passive. Kha'Zix's leaping in, not able to get himself another kill. Nunu getting the kill. Is he going to pick himself up a double kill though? MF's chasing down this TF. TF's going to get picked up by the bullet. The double up there from MF and Zyra and Nunu kiting around. Triple kill for MF.
Of Lulu.
Wow, great
100
play.
HP, and the Crystalline Flash, he just spammed it, used his shield to stay alive, and didn't die to the Ice Blast from Nunu. Amazing counter initiate by the blue team. Riven fell so quickly.
It was
to
that bullet time. They couldn't cancel the bullet time in that fight there, and that dictated the rest of it completely. MF was able to sit back, and she had loads of protection, and she felt completely safe to just spam those AAs out, and they just couldn't find an answer for that. Everyone's going to be back up in about 4 seconds, but I suspect that MF's going to be able to pick herself up this turret here and get that bot lane pushing up. That's going to be another 150 gold for everyone, bringing themselves back into the gold race a little bit more. Those home guard boots though, really helping out the rest of their team.
Yeah. If you're ever behind in a game, first thing to buy, if you're like super behind, they have an inhibitor, you buy home guard boots. They actually help you so well to counter push anything, because you can just get to a different lane as quick as possible. One thing I'd like to say about that last team fight though, the engage by Riven, again, the red team shows another premature engage. Riven was just by herself going YOLO mode. As they are taking down Baron here, the blue team trying to hack away with it. No wards by the red team, but their Baron senses are tingling as Maokai throws a ward over. Probably going to toss a sapling over too. Here's a little present for you guys.
And it looks like this Baron's going to go down pretty much soon. But Maokai going in with the twisted advance. The ultimate going down. He steals the Baron out. But MF getting completely blowing up Caitlyn, sorry. Getting herself a triple kill already. Riven's going to fall to Lee Sin though. Are we going to see a quadra on this one?
I told you.
Are we going to see a quadra? She's going to get herself a quadra here for sure. There's the quadra kill. Are they going to chase onto this TF's used the zone is out. Are we going to see the penta? The leap coming in from Kha'Zix, but Lulu's going to get herself a kill, and so close to the penta, and I think that's going to be the GG.
That was so close both ways.
Oh.
The fight could have gone.
Yeah.
The Baron steal by Swain Gretzky by that Maokai was just amazing. Swain Gretzky, high elo player, as I said before, he knows how to play the jungle. That's what he mains, and he shows that he knows how to smite there. It's taking down that buff, warning over, using his W to get onto Lee Sin, take the buff, and Lee Sin didn't even smite there, he still has it up.
I'm surprised because Lee Sin's execute is actually stronger than smite into the late game because of how it scales, but that's the GG though, and a really well fought game, and
that last
so
team
close.
fight though was just tremendous. Great positioning by MF there, just amazing all around by the blue side, showing that Black Cleaver is really imba and you better nerf it soon.
Was so good though. I thought she might get a penta. I really did.
Yeah, it was so close. It was just such a nice fight.
I
was super low.
I was really hoping the TF would just walk to her and just let her have it. I was hoping for that a little bit, just so you and I could just be screaming penta kill.
Oh my god, that was just. Oh my goodness.
And whilst that game was going on, I got an email back from the guy from the Reddit Cup. So let's see what he has to say. Is what he said to me is he looked at it. He watched our channel, by the way.
All right.
He said, "It looks really good. Are you the contact person, or can I have his Skype as well? I'll give him. I gave him your Skype as well, so like he can contact either of us. I listened a bit, and your mic gets annoying if you shout loud on the mic. I need to get a new mic anyway. I know this. But if you both stay calm, it is an entertaining stream. You should hear when you pronounce the S. It's sharp in my ears. Could you maybe fix that somehow?" Okay. Well, that's some great feedback from me.
I think I need to turn down my microphone a bit too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I yell a lot.
Oh, massively. That game, the blood's pumping now. That was so good.
No, it was so close. It could have went both ways. The blue team just came on top just a bit. That one engage where it's 3-0, whereas Caitlyn could have got the pentakill when they were all so low and they couldn't get it. It's just so close there, so close. It was just a tremendous fight by the blue team. They were able to position themselves well and properly throughout the fight. And overall, blue team showed their tremendous, tremendous skill. But both teams, both high elo, both showed that they are able to win games. And it was really close, but blue team pulls off another victory.
Yeah, it was good. I love that game. That game was so good. I really want to watch them again because they were really entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I used to watch Wayne Gretzky stream when he had like 12 or 15 people, and nobody knew who he really was because this was when he started streaming. And the one guy's in the chat, he's like, "Why are you emailing me, dude?" Oh my god. But when he started streaming, not many people knew who he was, but he was high on the charts. So overall, it's just really, really good play by him taking that Baron.
Oh, that's Zaniri who I was emailing. Lol. I looked at the name and I was like, I'm sure I recognise that name. Oh.
But overall, just great games throughout. The first game was a stomp. The second game was a bit closer. Like the first games that we casted, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the first two teams, that was a stomp for that one team. Then the second team, that one game that we casted was pretty close. Could have gone either way, but they propelled in the later end. And then this last game, it was so close. It was just sad seeing that they lost that game, but it could have went either way.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. But I think MF takes MVP for that game, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. No, actually, Black Cleaver takes MVP. We'll give Black Cleaver MVP right there.
Oh yeah, Black Cleaver is the MVP there with Kha'Zix and Misfortune. Just incredible damage.
Oh, that Riven just melts. Like, she had a Warmog as well. Just watching her just melt in that ultimate.
She was literally butter that whole time.
It was so good though. It was that game was. I got a grin from ear to ear from that game. Loved it.
It could have went both. I feel sorry because I'm a Wayne Gretzky fan. I really like him. That he lost that game, but just getting that smite off on Baron, that they had to be like, yes, good job, and then they lost that team fight, and they're like, oh no. But overall, if they were able to sustain through, I think the red team might have been a little bit better, but I don't know. Like, both teams showed amazing skill, and it could have gone either way.
I'm surprised that we didn't see more health on Maokai because he just didn't seem tanky in those fights when he was engaging. He was like diving in with that twisted advance. And then he would just get blown up, and he had no. And like Spirit Visage is a really, really great item on Maokai, and it gives like a ton of magic resist so that he can survive Zyra, who was primarily the person who was killing him as well. And it gives him health as well. So I just feel like he needed to look at like where all the damage was coming from and how health would have been so much better than armor for him.
Yeah, there's two mistakes that I could point out that tipped it in the blue team's favor: the YOLO Maokai and the YOLO Riven.
Yeah, they went so anti-carry mode, didn't they?
Yeah, they were just like, you know what? Oh, they're all in this position. Maybe I can catch them off. And then they figured out, oh, my team's way behind me. I should try to run back, and then they get melted by Black Cleaver, Misfortune all the time.
Yeah.
And there's another stream actually going on right now.
Is it? Oh, I'm game for this. Have you got the link?
It's Freak stream. Let me get it here. Copy link address. Oops, almost passed it to the casters. There we go.
Okay. Awesome. Do you know roughly where this is starting in? Oh, they just got the Baron buff straight away.
Oh.
Wow, that's an early Baron as well.
Yeah, well, they are ahead by about 10k gold.
Christ, this is a bit of a snowball.
Let's see what sort of team comps they got here. They got Tanky Cho'Gath. Do they have Tanky Elise?
She's kind of gone like AP.
No, she's gonna go with Warmogs now. This is what a lot of Elise build. They go Pen Attrition, and then they just go Tanky with health. They always build out Warmogs there. She does finalize that and builds 2
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I hadn't seen that
building
before.
health and penetration. It was actually made famous by TPA Stanley.
Yeah.
Who was like, you know what, Elise is really good. I'll show you guys how to play your top lane, and just stomped. And that's where it came from. But they're looking for that, like, fat engage with Cho'Gath and Elise having a lot of health, the beefy engage.
Yeah.
And then just having Katarina sort of come up and clean up, or Ezreal to come up and clean up, and then Leona having
That
those
Cho'Gath
pops.
has 3.7k HP at level 11, which is just... Ugh. How can you fight that? How can you fight that? And I'm very surprised that we haven't seen like a Blade of the Ruined King on any of these guys. Rengar's going to catch himself a Leona here though, leaping around in these bushes. He's got a red buff as well, but Leona's hella tanky as well. She's got Aegis of the Legion, so she's got 300 HP on that Ruby Sight Zone. So she's going to be able to. She's going to be totally fine. She's got herself. She looks like she's going to be building into that runic bulwark before she even finishes those boots too, which is she's pretty common on supports now.
Yeah, I think that Miss Fortune's going for Static Shiv, or she just has an Avarice Blade to gain some more gold, but since she's behind. But I'm not too we usually see Black Cleaver come out here, usually with Miss Fortune, so I'm not too sure what she's building as the red team going for another objective, repelling the lead even further. Ezreal picking
completely uncontested as well, and
there's nothing that the blue team can do.
No, there's
right
nothing
now.
there. And this is what I like though. The red team are really not. They're not sitting back and they're not playing passive, thinking, okay, guys, we're ahead. We don't really need to capitalize on this because it doesn't really matter. They're continually playing aggressive and pushing and pushing and pushing and going, let's get this objective, and let's keep working together and keep grouping as a 5 and using this Baron buff, to its fullest potential.
Right now, Rengar was in a bad position there also. He was mid, so red team capitalized on that and saw him back as Rengar's...
And just that Ezreal shredding that turret, that's going to fall there, going to easily be able to grab this inhibitor there, because blue are just not able to engage on. Elise landing that stun though, doing a buttload of damage with just that Liandry's and the spell penetration. But home guard boot Rengar with the flash in though, he's going to engage straight into the back. It looks like the Caster Assault is going to come down though. He's only going to pick himself. He's going to pick up no kills though. Rengar's going to grab the Katarina, but Elise grabbing a ton of kills in that fight. Cho'Gath grabbing himself a kill on the Zyra at the end there.
Looks like
and that's just got to be the GG.
Yeah, that might have probably surrendered.
Just so much. Look, there's the surrender. So much damage there.
As we enter this stream, we see the end of it.
But that was if blue team had been like less than hadn't been 15k gold behind, the home guard's Rengar ultimate would have been so cool to see.
Yeah. Also, if Rengar wasn't mid when they were pushing down bot, they should have warded their jungle somewhat a bit better. And we could see the purple team way more assists, way more kills than the blue team.
Yeah.
So
just caught the end of that, but it was just looked like a stomp.
At the end there, we did see Elise hit her stun slow sort of thing onto Zyra, and it did like all the half of her health, and it was just incredible, just one ability, and that shows you that the magic pen.
That works really well with the Katarina also having Abyssal Scepter as well. She's got the sorcerer shoes penetration, the Liandry's penetration, and then the magic resist reduction from Abyssal Scepter.
Void staff penetration,
and then just.
Penetrating a lot of things, if you know what I'm saying.
It was crazy, and there was nothing. There was nothing they could do. Rengar having the Spirit Visage, giving him a ton of health and magic resists, melting under that, and Nocturne so behind. Look at that, 4.2k gold, 0 and 7. They must have camped him so much in the jungle and just absolutely fought him. And Rengar and Cho'Gath, working really, really well with. And was that a Caster support?
No, it wasn't Zyra support.
Oh, it was a Zyra support, was it? I didn't see the.
Karthus had ROA.
Yeah, of course he did. Yep.
Constant support, new meta. You guys should try it out.
I want to see that.
Actually, it could work if you max out his.
I haven't. Wait, hang on a second. He hasn't
you'd have
sent
to
me a
have a-
Skype thing.
You'd have to have a dual bot lane.
Hasn't sent me a Skype. I haven't got a Skype invite.
Oh, here, I'm gonna add you to it. Screw it, you know what? I think if I can add you. There.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Is this the casters or something? TRC
Yeah,
casters group.
so-
The Reddit Cup casters group. Okay, I'm there.
Whew. Those are some good games. That was like what was that, like 3 hours of straight casting all these random games. Like, these are actually surprisingly good. This is because Riot wants to have teams, like sustained amount of teams in their division, and they don't want them to just leave or whatever. Like, like Epic Gamer was in the start of season 2, then they just left, and there's all these other teams that started and left.
Yeah.
But they want to have sustained teams. They want, like, what I forget the guy's name is, Redbeard or someone like that, Rise, I don't know which one of them. He was like, yeah, we wanted to make it sort of like a basketball sort of, have certain teams, have certain divisions, and make sure, like OGNs, they have the certain divisions, certain season. They want to have something like that overall for the whole scene of League of Legends,
Yeah.
with their NA division, EU division, and whatnot. Surprisingly, I'm not too sure. I don't know why I'm saying this now. It's sort of out of random. It's really off a tangent. Why CLG EU less CLG? I think this is. I don't know if this is true, but I think unless I misinterpret this, I heard Hotshot say on his stream, Riot did not allow sister teams or something. I'm like, what? And I don't know if they're just starting out with
Didn't CLG Black close as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
And TSM has dropped Evo as well.
So I think they're starting with the NA teams, so maybe transitioning that there's going to be no sister teams or something.
Well, and Curse have dropped their EU team as well.
Yeah, and I think that's Riot telling them, no, you can't have sister teams. So what's going to happen to these big sister teams such as Azubu and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or KT Roaster. They're really strong teams, but they need their scrimmage partners, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe they're just going to go over, like...
Well, I wonder whether it gives. I think it gives an unfair advantage if you have a sister team though, because when you scrim with another team, you have to be careful that you don't show them all of your tactics and all of your strats, because then they'll see them all in these scrims and be like, hey, we've seen these guys use this strat before. We know how to play against this kind of cheese strat. So by having like Azubu Blaze and Azubu Frost having those two teams, they can scrim against each other. But if either team comes against each other in a tournament, it doesn't matter which one wins realistically, because the whole collective wins overall.
Yeah, and where CLG is reportedly going is Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses doesn't have a team, so now they're recruiting a team, right? So I think that Riot doesn't want sister teams to occur in Season 3. I think they want it to all be single teams and by themselves going into the competition. Because, it gives them 2 chances while other teams only have 1 chance. Maybe they want to have some sort of fair bet. So instead of, like, there's a lot of people bashing CLG EU for not being trustworthy to CLG for bringing them up and stuff. But,
hang on a second, I'm just typing in the Skype thing. Zaneri, I have only got the free version of XSplit, but I have a really good graphics card. I have pretty good internet, so I have no qualms with being able to stream much higher resolution than I am now.
OBS, yeah, Open Broadcaster.
Yeah, I've heard of this. I haven't checked it out yet, but
yeah.
I haven't been streaming very long, so.
Yeah, if you use that, Snoopy said it was good, so it must be good. Maybe try that.
And Snoopy's word is like law. See, look, this link is purpled. The link was purpled. Go away.
It's a conspiracy, okay? Wait, do you have it downloaded? Maybe you already have it downloaded. Maybe you forgot. Maybe
I don't know. Maybe I do have it downloaded. Hang on a second. We'll soon know.
One night when you came home and you're like, I need a new broadcasting software. Let me just Google OBS. Oh yeah, let me download it. Okay, I'm not gonna install it. Whatever, I'm done.
I'll do this later on when we're not streaming, but I'll have a look at that and try and sort something out. Um,
And then you could just contact
why
me.
use 32-bit mode when I have a 64-bit operating system?
No, 32 pixels wise.
No, this guy's like use 32-bit mode.
Oh.
Ah, okay. Thanks, dude. That's all I wanted to know. Why is there not a 64-bit client for LoL? That's what I want. That's like a 64-bit version of LoL. That's what I want to freaking know. That's what I want to know.
LOL. LOL hates Macs and everything else except for 32-bit Windows, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
probably to do with Flash. It is
Yeah.
probably to do with it. Oh, lap gaze. Who uses laptops?
I don't know why I'm watching your stream to read the chat when I can just read the chat normally. I'm weird.
I suspect actually that all the games are done for today. Let's just have a look. I'm gonna have a look on these brackets and see what this looks like. This hasn't been updated. So are there any more streams? I can't see any.
Let me check. D-Man had his ride thing up. There might be one last one.
I look on
Knuckle
Twitter
Fist.
as well. D-Man seems.
Yeah, there's one last stream going on. Knuckle Fist. It's paused.
Is it? Okay, so maybe
I'm
someone's
gonna go
DC'd or something. Is it?
Maybe I just sent it to you on Skype. I'll be right back shortly. I'm gonna go grab some more water. I'm a bit parched. So yeah. Be right back.
Whilst the stream is paused as well, I'm going to grab some water as well because I'm pretty parched. We'll resume in probably about a minute's time. Thanks, guys. So it sounds like we both came back at the same time.
Oh, that's it was all planned, dude.
It was totally planned.
Calculations, as Hotshot GG used to say. Oh, I'll show you that one picture of him, dude. He looks like the biggest loner of him in high school. Here, I'll post it in the chat.
I want to see this. I'm game.
It was in I think it was like 2010 yearbook. So it's like I'm getting DOSed again or something. I don't know. I saw him call them. Yeah, showcasting is more important. Where is it?
I need to get a mute button for my mic so it's easier. Yeah, I saw it. I forget about these things. I've only been streaming for about 2 weeks, so you know. And Zaneri, Laffy and I have only been geocasting for today for probably about 2 hours.
Today.
2 hours.
Yeah.
That is, we've been geocasting for the first time ever. I met him yesterday.
Yeah, on Reddit.
On Reddit, yeah.
Let's
do
team up
this.
here. We could do some. We could do old British Canadian combo. Union Jacks for the win, and we're gonna win everything.
I think what we should do is one game is I will try and imitate your accent, and you can try and imitate mine, and we'll have a funny time.
Right, I can do easy accent.
Okay. Yeah, but you just sound Australian every time you do it.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's just leave it. All right. I can be from EU West if I want to. Okay.
Oh, I suck at accents.
I can also do this mean FPS Russia. Hello, today I'm gonna show you how to shoot the big gun. Yes. Russia.
I only found out like probably 6 months ago that FPS Russia is not actually Russian. It's just a parody.
His real name is FPS Kyle. So.
I didn't know that he wasn't Russian. Oh my god.
Did I send you the stream?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Is it back up now?
Yeah,
okay, right. Okay. Awesome. I didn't see it was on pause. I was being a bit of a derper. Okay.
Okay. Wait, I wanted to send you guys this too. It's pretty cute.
So the Nocturne going straight in there. The Shen ultimate coming out as well with the Lulu ult. Nunu's ultimating in as well. He's going to do a lot of damage. Rumble ultimating straight across. Nocturne's going to fall to Rumble there. Shen flashing out. He's got Ignite on him. Ezreal kiting really, really well. Double kill for Rumble. And looks like Varus is going to fall a triple kill. Is he going to get the penta? No, he's going to get the quadra though. And Sin stealing that out with his poison trail. What?
Oh, scumbag.
Scumbag. What a scum. As if we came back onto that and nearly saw another penta. What a scumbag Singe though. Just being that poison master and taking that penta away from him. I would love to see all chat and see how much that Rumble is raging right now. Wow.
Come on now. Who's the 3-knuckle fist? Put on the all chat. Come on, we want to see it. But with team taking down the not Nexus, inhibitor turret, and also the inhibitor most likely. No, Nocturne trying to stop with all his might. Actually,
the fear coming out. The TF ulti coming in as well. There's the flash. He's going to gold card him though. Still hitting those wild cards. But wow, the damage from Ezreal onto TF doing massive amounts. He's flashed away from the Lulu. TF flash as well. He's got gold card locked in. I wish this camera would move over so I can see it though. The Shen using it looked like the Ezreal managed to hit that Iceborne Gauntlet with his Mystic shot and proving how strong that item is for him.
And Nunu is really OP at this point since he had the Blood Boil on. Ezreal could just run away from TF without any hassle. So Ezreal was able to get out of that and wasting TF's flash, but also wasting his own. So
yeah.
But
it was great to pick up those turrets though.
Red team did save an inhibitor, so that was worth it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that when that inhibitor falls, makes all those other lanes stronger. So they have to be, and you know that's a significant turning point in a game for most teams is when that first inhibitor falls.
Yeah, there's just so much pressure from that inhibitor falling. They have to focus on protecting their own nexus before going to any other lane. But now they're able to farm other lanes while not having to worry about super minions.
Exactly.
But we do see Singe here, tanky. For Randuin's next, has that Rod of Ages already. Waiting for Warmogs and Spirit Visage, because that new combination is way better than Force of Nature ever was.
Yeah.
Since it's like 1.5 regen of max health, and
that's buffed by 30% as well, isn't it now?
It's increased by it's like 20% for something with Spirit Visage for regen. So
yeah.
He just has like unlimited regen. He's just running around in your face even more now. But yeah.
That's he also gets health from mana, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him possibly build a Frozen Heart instead of the Randuins, because Frozen Heart plays much better into his passive and probably works much better against Varus.
Yeah, he's probably going to build that Giant's Belt into Warmogs because he does have that crystal and
Warden's Mail now builds into Frozen Heart instead.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Warden Mail is now Frozen Heart.
Yeah.
But we also remember the first game, Rumble, the same build is coming out here. Penetration, actually not having the Sword Boots, but having Merc Treads instead, trying to kite out the CC from, Loop.
Wow, the damage from Mystic Shot down to TF is incredible. They have to be so careful this Rumble because he's got that Leandri's Torment and getting that passive from Leandri's down with his ultimate is going to do a ton of damage. Look at the damage that ultimate's doing there. He's laid it straight across all the squishy. The Shen ultimate barely survived saving the TF. TF's going to fall to Rumble again though. Rumble getting in the middle of a fight with those flame spitters on though. He's tanking these. He's going to fall though. Nocturne picks him up. Ezreal gets himself a double kill onto Shen and Nocturne. Kiting around the back though, throwing in those mystic shots. Mundo's tanking that turret out. Varus getting him. Varus jumping straight onto the Ezreal. Ezreal using his Arcane Shift to get away, and it looks like Nunu's going to fall to Varus here as well. That's a double kill for him. Can he get himself onto his Ezreal? Varus missing that arrow, but Lulu's poking back and forth, both Arcane Shifting away again, kiting back and forth, and Singe, as tanky as he is, Varus doing so much damage now.
MVPs go to those Nexus turrets who took down Mundo and Singe. They were really tanking those turrets for about a minute and a half.
Yeah, it was crazy.
They're just that beefy. Their team is just filled with all of this beef.
Well, this Mundo, he's got a Warmog's armor as well as the Kindle Gem and a Giant's Belt. He must be on easily 4k HP.
Yeah, and with the regen from his ultimate, it just makes it even easier. Once both of the Singed and Mundo get Spirit Visage, it's just good. They can just tank turrets as easy as they want to. It's just like they were tanking the Nexus turrets at level 15. the Nexus turrets would shoot like it's incredible
Yeah,
how
exactly. And I think
they
Ezreal
just
played exceptionally well in that fight, kiting around and using that slow on his Mystic Shot, using that Arcane Shift to juke around and out and just keep away from the Varus and keep him at range. It was really great kiting from him there.
and I think they stayed a bit too long though.
Definitely.
Just a bit too long tanking those turrets, and Varus got a double kill also there.
Yeah.
But Varus in the late game it could go either way. Ezreal does have a bit more kiteability, so he might have a bit more help staying alive with his Essence Flux and his Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And he also has Merc Treads, so he's gonna try to stay alive as best as he can, trying to be jumping around in between the red team, the enemy team, taking them out one by one with the Mystic Shot combo there.
Grabbing themselves that dragon whilst that was happening, though. They really want to keep this gold lead ahead. It's a 5k lead for them. They're pushing onto these bottom turrets as well, so they're not going to have a problem picking that one up. And I feel like they might be able to get onto this inhibitor again. They've got red team got a lot of CC, but blue team being so strong and able to tank these turrets for pretty much forever and a day.
Yeah, and there's just Merc Treads on almost everybody except for Nunu and Mundo.
Yeah.
So even their AD carry has Merc Treads, so you can't really stop him from getting away with Arcane Shift and Iceborne Gauntlet.
But that is the power of Nunu Blood Boil right there. Ezreal's with his passive and Nunu Blood Boil, he's still able to build like CC reduction boots and pump out tons of damage without that 25% attack speed that Berserker Greaves give you.
Yeah, exactly. Nunu is just so strong right now, especially with every single AD carry there is. He can just be well with them. But Varus has to stay in the back.
The taunt in there from Shen though. Mundo popping his ultimate to get into the back. The Rumble ultimate comes straight across. Shen's doing a load of damage to Nunu, but Ezreal picks himself up a double kill on Nocturne and TF. Rumble gets the Shen there. Shen using that stand unite to save Varus as long as possible. Varus getting the Ezreal. Varus falling to the Rumble, but Ezreal picking himself up Varus. Lulu managing to get her Ezreal. The Singe is chasing after Lulu, and she's going nowhere. The poison's going to tick so strong. Mundo tanking those turrets, though. Wow.
The two tanky turrets, guys, staying alive. They're not going for the Nexus. They're trying to just go for the inhibitor. The timers are still pretty long. Nocturne's 5 seconds. They probably could have took down an Nexus turret, but they probably just want to sustain lead. They're saying, you know what, we don't want to risk it. Maybe Nocturne will come back. Maybe his ultimate or something. We don't know.
Just get this inhibitor and sort of secure our lead and push all these lanes up, and let's not take any risks and possibly lose. TF ulti coming in though. He's going to get flung straight away. The ignite coming out onto Mundo. Mundo's got a lot of sustain. He's going to fall there from TF and the tether from Nocturne. Singe is in a really bad spotlight now. That's the double kill with the wild card from TF. A really, really great use of his ultimate there to get in there and pick himself up those two tanky guys.
So the regen of the inhibitor actually out-regens the auto-attack of Singe. He went to go attack it once and run away, but he attacked it once and it left with 2 HP, and then he started running away, and he was like, wait, I gotta go back in. And he wasn't able to, as TF did melt him down so quickly with the health that he had. Oh my goodness, I was so close. Sad Singe.
Oh my god. This game is the 6k lead to blue team, but it's back and forth. Ezreal though got himself a black cleaver as well as he's built that pickaxe and longsword, so he's going to get the last whisper. Man, is he going to have a lot of armor penetration, and I don't think Singe is going to be tanky enough for him because he's built more armor and he's got the magic resist. He's building that wit's end as well, so he's only got the health coming from a little bit of health from the Aegis and the 400-500 HP coming from Sunfire. He's going to die very quickly if Ezreal focuses him in any way, and if that's the only target he can choose, then that's going to be where his damage is going to fall.
Overall though, the blue team is obviously with the sustained lead. They do not have any inhibitors right now, as the middle inhibitor did respawn. Yeah. So they're going to try to go for a push, maybe getting another inhibitor. They did lose double oracles in that pack.
Nocturne ulting in straight in there. He's got the fear onto Ezreal, but Ezreal manages to get out of it using his arcane shift. Ezreal's ultimate comes straight across. Nunu's very low. Rumble is insanely low though. He falls to Varus. Varus is pumping out a lot of damage. Varus is going to fall to Ezreal. Shen's going to pick himself up Nunu. Ezreal kiting away on that Shen, gets himself the double kill. Is he going to be able to chase? Singe is in there with the true shard of ice on though. Nocturne's going to fall there to the triple kill on Ezreal. Ezreal
Oh,
gets himself the quadra. Is he going to get the pentakill onto the TF? Is that the pentakill? That's the pentakill. Pentakill right there. Wow, what a play by Ezreal. Brilliant, brilliant play.
Dude. Oh,
Oh
good.
my god.
That is GG. There's nothing
That
you
is
can do.
so
I'm
GG.
actually confused through that team fight because Nocturne has the skin where his Q is blue and the Iceborne Gauntlet is also blue.
Yeah.
So the team fight was just filled with blue.
Yeah,
Like the
and then Singe was running around in the back with his true shard of ice, just like slowing down the TF and not enabling him to get around in those fights. And it was a really, really good play, and that's GG. Whoa, that's our first pentakill, Laffy.
Finally, we got one.
Finally.
The Rumble almost this game got one, but the scumbag Singe was just like, no, nice try.
Oh, I was hoping that could have almost been a double pentakill game. Wow.
As they were somewhat behind too in the beginnings, but
Yeah.
just pushed through and just won the game. Really good play by the Ezreal, showing that look how much gold difference he had between the other carry. There's at least 3k gold difference. Just tremendous kiting ability by the Ezreal. He arcane shift out of that team fight,
Yeah.
waiting for the enemies to come to him, using his mystic shot, Iceborne Gauntlet to really take down everybody that was trying to get to him. And look at the assists throughout this whole team. 16, 20, 17, Nunu, Mundo, and Singe. What a amazing game that was.
Yeah. So
Overall-
tanky, and they were able to protect him. And Singe, just being that annoying guy, who loves to get in that backline and just disrupt everything. Varus, he had a really tough time in that fight, having like the right positioning, because Ezreal just is just naturally better at putting himself in good spots, whereas Varus has to be really careful with how he's moving around. And Arcane Chef saved him a bunch of times in that fight.
And Varus doesn't have any sort of gap closers or any sort of...
Or dash or anything, yeah.
Yeah, so he was just trying to run around out-kiting people, but he didn't really have the time to do that because Singed is in your face, and you're just like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah, and especially Singe having that Shard of True Ice. Shard of True Ice is typically a support item that you put onto someone else that gives them this AOE slow aura. So they have Iceborne Gauntlet plus on at the front line, and then they have at the back line they've got Singed running around with a slow aura on him plus his slow poison field as well. It's so hard to deal with that. You know, you just can't move around and position yourself if you get flung by him, or if Mundo's just beating you in the face, because Mundo having that masochism, you know, he can build full tank but gets 100 120 AD when he's on sort of half HP, and you're in for a world of pain.
And just showed you that their beefy front line was, you couldn't do anything against it. You try to hack away at it, they just regen their health back and back. And there's no answer that Varus could have had to do against that. Like, it was just over.
Yeah. And I can't fault Ezreal's play there. I think he played really, really well. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was flawless Ezreal play there. It was just tremendous overall. Knowing how to kite properly. But yeah, I think I'm done for the day. That was a nice 3-hour sort of shoutcast.
That was awesome.
But yeah, I think that's the last one. There might be a couple more, but my voice is a bit dying.
Yeah. I'll archive this onto YouTube as well.
Alright, I'm going to send it to the guy from CLG, so...
Just send him the whole cast, just send him it, and he can just like pick bits out and stuff.
Yeah, I'll just pick a time. I'll probably choose the third one, because I think the third one was our best one, since the first two was sort of like chopping in and out.
Yeah.
But the last one was like solid one. But yeah, overall, I think we're not that bad.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and that's the main thing for me. As long as we have fun, I think that'll probably translate through in our casts.
Exactly. We just need to learn to synergize a bit more, I think. Throughout, like, maybe more and more casts, we'll be able to know when to time in properly and stuff, and not interrupt each other. But
that's fun.
Just really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've done any proper duo casting, so...
Yeah, it was a good duo cast, too. People enjoyed it, so that makes me happy. If someone out there enjoys us, I don't care if anybody hates us, but if someone enjoys us, it makes me happy. If I enjoy myself, it makes me happy also. So, yeah. All right. Hopefully, Reddit Cup will go well too.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be really fun to cast.
If we are able to cast that, and hopefully CLG's tournaments.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if the CLG guys like our stuff as well.
Yeah, so,
Get some. I'll put this on YouTube, and then you can either use the link from Twitch or you can use the link on YouTube. Either way, it's up to you.
yeah, I'll send it to them. Yeah, but yeah, we should do this again.
Definitely.
Whenever we can, we need more practice.
Well, tomorrow there's tournaments tomorrow, isn't there? As well, there's a game tomorrow. So if you're free,
Oh yeah.
I'm free tomorrow as well. It's a Saturday, so I've not got any plans.
I'll probably be free. I'll probably be doing some schoolwork in the morning, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be free. What 1 p.m. was the start? Yeah, I'll open it sometime.
Is that 1 p.m. NA?
NA, I think, yeah, my time. So that's like 6, 7 your time.
That's fine. Yeah, I have dinner around then, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no issue there. But yeah, if we keep on doing this, I think we're pretty good already for first time. So
Yeah, I was surprised that it worked pretty much off the bat.
yeah, we didn't really mumble over each other or anything. You know, we just sort of got into it and it just happened. It was a bit spontaneous too. We were just like, okay, where's the stream? Okay, we go.
Yeah, let's just go. And there was like Punto Curl.
Oh, Jordan middle streams are the best.
Oh, definitely, because you have literally no idea. It's like team comps. Well, who the hell's even playing? I don't know. Let's just go with it. Roll with it.
Israel got a pentacle? What the fuck?
What the fuck? Iceborne Gauntlet OP.
Yeah, the Iceborne Goblins and Black Cleaver is just...
Oh, that's gross. And Ezreal had a Black Cleaver by the end as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He had like fully stacked Bloodthirster, Iceborne Gauntlet, and then and then the Black Cleaver. I think the other part of Iceborne Gauntlet that makes it kind of semi-OP is because it also gives you like 50 armor as well for Ezreal, so you're really hard to trade with as an AD carry. Because you have more armor, because it makes sense, because it builds into your kit really well.
Because it's like 60 armor or something.
Yeah, and you get 15% CDR because it's built from Glacier Shrouds. It's like, what?
And it's chain too, so
Yeah.
like... It's,
I still think after they've nerfed it, Ezreal will still build that item.
yeah, why not? Because you're going to build Phantom Dancer, and then you're going to build like something else, right? And from that slow, it's like a amazing Trinity Force.
Yeah.
Right, so
it's a guaranteed Trinity Force, whereas Trinity Force has a chance, and eliminating RNG is always good, irrelevant if it's slight damage loss, because you can then estimate your output better. Ooh.
Yeah. All right, so my friends want me to play League now, so I'll go do that with
Okay,
them,
man.
and then gonna go study. But yeah, anytime tomorrow, probably around 1, we'll message each other and go.
Awesome. Cheers, dude. Thanks for a great cast.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, man.
Bye bye.
Peace.
Thanks guys for watching the stream. Had a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed the duo casting, and definitely watch this space. I think we'll be doing a ton more of it.